Oh, hat's wonky, the lighting's off. Oh, God, that's not a great start. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another live stream. There's been a lot of live streams recently, hasn't there? There's been a lot of content, but we're back to normal deadlines for at least a couple of weeks, and then we're back to another midweek deadline. But it will be nice. It means we can get in all of the content that we want. It means that I actually have a chance to breathe, and I can only get so many red arrows per week, which is nice. But do let me know where you're tuning in from. Do say hello, as always. There's already a Wrapped It X member someone's just signed up to, so thank you very much, Benjamin. I do appreciate you. Someone's already dropped a super chat. Is it going to be that kind of stream? Let's see. What are your thoughts on Son captain? Have Salah and Haaland too? I mean, Son might not even play, and it's Newcastle. So, no, I hate Son captain myself. Salah and Haaland. I mean, Haaland's just the obvious captain. It was the same as it was a couple of weeks ago. I think when Haaland's playing against Luton away, then do it. Someone sounds tired. Oh, no. Do I? I apologise. What time do you get up before a morning stream, Ross? About 7:30. So about an hour and a half before I have to start. I look like I've just woken up. I understand that. Are you laughing? Did you laugh? Don't laugh. Welcome, by the way, to the 1,000 people that are already watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream today. Make sure to subscribe. And we're going to crack it. Your voice sounds different. Oh, no. You are 2 minutes late. I think you're 2 minutes late, Matthew. I'm already here, mate. I don't think my voice sounds different. Oh, it's raining really heavy outside. Right, my ADHD's kicking in. Let's take a look at my team. I've already made a transfer, but I did already talk about this transfer over on Twitter/X, and it was Mbeumo to Palmer. Simply because, so I looked through all of the possible transfer possibilities. Maybe we get confirmation that Son's out this morning and I want to bring Haaland back. Maybe I just want to make one transfer. Maybe I want to make two. Maybe I want to change my defence. Like, no matter what transfer combination I went for, I always wanted to do Mbeumo to Palmer. So, what? Everyone sound different. Do I sound different? No, okay. I don't, apparently. So, as a result, I just did the transfer. And I thought, you know what? There's no risk for me here. I say that. I hope there's no risk for me here. And then, basically, I've got one other transfer to use. If I want to use the transfer, then it'll either be on a defender. So, Gehi to Porro is most likely. Or it will be Martinelli to Bowen, Foden, Sterling, something like that. And then play them maybe ahead of Son or Watkins. And then the other possibility is maybe try and bring Haaland back in, but it would be at the expense of Heung-min Son and probably Alvarez, which doesn't feel perfect. Your voice sounds sick. It sounds like you've got a sore throat. What is going on? Oh, I don't know.
You do sound a tad bunged up, I suppose.
Do I? Oh dear, maybe I'm getting ill. Chat, maybe you've identified an illness before I even knew it was coming. I'll let you know in the next couple of days. I'll tweet about it. If I'm ill, then I'll say, well done, chat. You knew. Right. So, I'm going to run an early poll whilst we've got the loyal people. What should I call you, people? In the chat. God, maybe I am tired. What would you... second transfer for my team. No. What would you do? Oh dear, chat. You sound like Thomas Shelby. I don't at all, but thanks. I don't think so. Maybe I should do the Brummie accent. Right. So it's either roll the transfer. I think my only issue is with doing Gehi to Porro, because I think everyone's going to say Gehi to Porro. So before I even run the poll, my only main concern with that is Porro doesn't really massively make my team better this week. Like, if I get Porro, I'm not benching Tsimikas because he has the best fixture and we know that we think he should start based on the fact he was rested. I'm not going to bench Trippier because it's Kieran Trippier, which leaves Reece James. And I know everyone's going to say, just start Porro over James. Everton are great. Newcastle struggled recently. Porro's more likely to start. And I do think that Porro maybe just edges it in comparison to Reece James, but does it make my team that much stronger this week that it's worth making the transfer this week? Because we've all seen what can happen in the space of a week. Son maybe has an injury and Mbeumo's injured. All of these, Areola's picked up an injury. It's like, having 2 free transfers for next week is probably more useful for me than rushing the Porro transfer this week, which is the only thing that's put me off making that transfer as things stand. But so let me just still run the poll. So it's either roll the transfer, Gahey to Porro, Martinelli to, it would probably be Bowen or Sterling. And then do you know what it would, I think it would be, it could be Sterling. Yeah, and then the other option is Son and Alvarez to Baptiste and Haaland for a -4. Okay. Sorry, that was a bit long-winded. that took me 4 business days to run that poll. What a chaotic stream already. I've just run a poll. Let me know what you think I should do with my team. Or if you've got any other ideas, just drop them in the chat. And yeah, feel free to help me, because I could do with a bit of help. I'm not doing very well at the moment in the old FPL. A man says, hi, got Doku instead of Mbeumo. Your thoughts? Heard his injury is not that serious. So the 2 predictions that I've seen from Man City accounts for the lineup this week don't have Doku in the starting 11. However, I do think Doku is a fine player to bring in. If he does start, then great. My only concern is that we don't know that he will. And I think there are enough other nailed options to maybe not be willing to take the risk. But I mean, you've done it anyway, so I'm not going to talk you out of it. But yeah, if Doku starts, I think he's an absolutely brilliant option. I think he could have a lot of joy this week. Anesh says, already did Mbeumo to Palmer. Would you sell Son? I think unless we get some updated information this morning, I'm not going to sell Son. No. Mbeumo to Palmer sounds nice. Exactly what I did. And thank you for being a member for 26 months. That's amazing. Thank you. Mateo says, I have cash, Mbeumo, Kabore, Mitchell, Lascelles, Son. What to do? Oh wow. Cry? No, I would probably prioritize Mbeumo and Mitchell. Maybe Cash as well. Although Cash might play in blank game week 18 when he's got Sheffield United. Mbeumo and Mitchell would definitely be the 2 that I prioritize, like Palmer and I don't know, whoever you want to bring in, Palmer and Porro, which is probably similar to what I'm doing. Ask your missus to make you some hot honey and lemon, soothes the throat. Why is everyone still saying? Maybe I've just got a manly, croaky voice. You never know. What are you laughing at? Outrageous. Mrs. Raptor's on a mad one already. Start 3 out of Gabriel, Fabian Schär, Maguire, Taylor, Lascelles. I would start. Oh, that's a tough one. I'd start Maguire. I would start. Do you know what? It would probably be the first 3. I would probably start Gabriel, Schär, Maguire. And then my bench order would be Archer, Lascelles, Taylor. Probably. Liam says, transferred Mbeumo to Sterling. Would you take a hit for Mitchell to a defender for 5.1 million? For 5.1. It depends if you have another starting defender that you can start this week, Liam. If you don't, then yeah, I would be tempted. It probably still is like a Livramento. That would be my favourite choice. Or you could go for a Colwill if you think he's going to start enough games. I like the Mbeumo to Sterling move, though. That's really nice. Jay says, also did Mbeumo to Palmer. Should I do a -4 to move Adingra to Gordon? Yeah, I quite like that. Or wait until next week. Therefore, starting Maguire or Archer or even Adingra. I think the thing is, if Adingra starts, he's got Burnley at home. I'd be tempted to just start Adingra and hope that he starts, but I'm not really savvy to what's going on with the Brighton lineup at the moment. So I could be completely wrong here, and Adingra might not even be in the starting 11, but I would probably be willing to risk it just because of the fixture and then make the Gordon move next week, especially as Gordon isn't great away from home, and as bad as Newcastle have been, as bad as they were against Everton, it's not an easy fixture. So I would be tempted to, sorry, as bad as Tottenham had, I don't even know what I'm talking about here. I think that Gordon is better from next week, essentially. Hayden says, did Mbeumo to Hwang, do I do Diaby to Saka for a -4? Mbeumo to Hwang, I like that a lot. Mrs. Raptor's had Hwang for weeks and he's doing the business. Do I do Diaby to Saka for a -4? The thing is, I don't think Diaby start. Bailey's just been too good, hasn't he? This isn't the week though, is it, to do it? I don't know if now's the time to bring in Saka, and Saka isn't a great away from home, and Villa have been so strong defensively. I'd be surprised if Saka gets anything in this game. I'd still be tempted, though, purely because I don't think DRB starts. So you're probably getting a one-pointer from DRB, unless you get something off the bench. That's a tough one. I would maybe say just about. Just about. Could you do a Game Week 16 free hit draft, please, Ross? Well, I won't do that because I think it's very niche. But you'd have triple City. You'd probably have triple Liverpool. I would argue would have Darwin, Salah, Trent, Alvarez, Haaland, Ruben Diaz, or something like that. Then you would probably still have maybe one Chelsea asset. Then you might have like Bruno Fernandes potentially. I mean, just look at the fixtures. Pick out players that have okay fixtures. I mean, you'd have a Brighton attacker as well. Maybe Pascal Gross. Seen a few people looking at Pascal Gross this week. I think he's basically playing like a left back, but he's getting forward so much. It's almost like Pedro Porro. Obviously, I know Pedro Porro's a right back, but he's playing like an inverted position higher up the pitch. Mrs. Raptors had Wang for weeks. Chat, stop being sus. Stop being sus. Bless her. Who do I take out Haaland for a -4, Darwin or Isak? Well, I mean, this week, Isak, going forward, I prefer to lose Darwin, which makes it tricky, doesn't it? I would maybe lose Isak and then bring Isak back in maybe for Game Week 18. Already have Palmer. Who else should I swap in Burmo for? Yes, do you know what? I can actually just bring this up. Where is this one here? There we go. Lovely stuff. Roughly, this is the list. So I think the obvious best replacements are Palmer, Gordon, Bowen, Sterling. But I think other replacements, Foden, Kudus, Wang, McTominay, Johnson, Bailey, Lo Celso, all fine. There are other options that aren't even on this list. And I think they could all do fine. But I do think that the 4 best options are the ones on the left. Just for me, anyway. When you take into account everything. What are your thoughts on bringing in Kanate with Matip's long-term injury for just 4.9? I just don't like the Liverpool defence moving forward. If you look at their fixtures now, we'll go back to here. They've got their next 4 home games are Manchester United, Arsenal, Newcastle, Chelsea. And then they play Arsenal again in Game Week 23. So Palace is an okay fixture this week. But also it is at Selhurst Park. It would be better if it was at Anfield. Burnley away is a fine fixture. Like, I'm not going to say a single bad thing about that fixture. Bournemouth away is okay, but Bournemouth have improved. And then outside that, to have Man United, Arsenal, Newcastle. Over this spell here, I would argue that they're probably not going to get more than 2 clean sheets. Maybe 3. I don't see that many clean sheets over this spell. So Trent is still fine because it's Trent. But going for Kanate, or even keeping Simicast, I just don't think they carry the same attacking threat that it makes it worth holding him through this spell. It's another reason that I'm looking to maybe move on Darwin and then probably Salah, obviously, when he goes to AFCON, but around here. I mean, the thing is with Liverpool attack, they'll score goals against anyone, but the defence, as good as it has been this season, they are difficult fixtures, I think. I'm really tempted to do Diaby to Foden for a -4. I know it's bad for 18, but just got a feeling. I mean, you could always move him out in 18. We haven't really seen much from Foden recently, but he did show signs in Game Week 15 of just being a little bit back to his old self. Am I crazy to consider Bruno as captain this week? Not crazy, but I don't think this is the same Bournemouth. So I'd be a little bit more hesitant. And as much as Manchester United have improved, at least in Game Week 15, they improved. I'm not entirely sure I trust the Manchester United attack still. Like, would I be surprised if we lose this 1-0 to Bournemouth? No. So I don't think I would be willing to captain Bruno. But having him in your team is already a massive advantage. Do I take a hit? Areola, Lascelles, Son, Simicast in my 11. Well, Simicast is fine. Son could be fine. Areola could be fine. I don't know what the latest on Lascelles is, but those feel like... I mean, Simicast definitely... I don't know that I would take a hit. I think you're maybe panicking a little bit too much there about most options that should be fine. I would keep Son and Simicast definitely. If you want to remove Areola and Lascelles, then you could go for it. Abe says, hi Ross, would you do Mitchell to Porro for a hit or just play Taylor? Or would you do Turner to Dubravka for a hit or just play Areola hoping he starts? I prefer Turner to Dubravka, I think. Yeah, I think I prefer Turner to Dubravka. I think Taylor's fine. Do I expect Taylor to keep a clean sheet? No. But at least you know that he's going to play. And I don't think Porro's going to keep a clean sheet this week. So I feel like the one that's probably most likely to net you the most points is probably Turner to Dubravka. But Porro does have that attacking threat that if he does keep a clean sheet, it feels a bit like Kieran Trippier. Like Porro keeps a clean sheet or gets an attacking return. He's probably decent for bonus points as well because he creates a lot. I think if you're going to make both moves anyway, I would probably do the Dubravka move this week. You are welcome. Been a brilliant 2 years enjoying FPL because of it. Oh, thank you, Anesh. I do really appreciate it. I appreciate all the support from all of the members. You're all bloody fantastic. What do we think about Heung-min Son, by the way, chat? Do we think Heung-min Son will start? Do we think he's out on the bench? What is your impression of what happened with Son? I'm under the impression that he's fine and he'll start. But it was weird, actually, because what happened was he was like holding his knee and he was making it look like he had an issue with his knee. And then after the game, we heard that he just took a blow to his back. And that actually was fine. It was just a bit of like an impact injury to his back. But it looked like it was his knee that he was struggling with. So I don't really know. And then someone said it was his hamstring. I do think that, and I think this is fine. Son's a very emotional person. I mean, we've actually seen Son cry like 30 times on the pitch, off the pitch, in the tunnel. So I wonder if a bit of it was also frustration with the fact that they were losing the game. And then they eventually obviously lost the game. I wonder if it was just a bit of it. Because we saw him crying, right? And everyone was like, if he's crying, he must be in a hell of a lot of pain. I don't know. But yeah, I think he'll be fine. I also think, in a similar way to what we said with like Bowen in the past and stuff like that, I think Son either starts or isn't in the squad. I don't think they take Son to sit on the bench. Why James, Chelsea are terrible? Oh, you're not wrong there, to be honest. But I've got a bit of like Stockholm syndrome with James. I'm kind of a bit obsessed with him. I love him. And I can't bring myself to bench him or take him out of my team. It's terrible. It's the same with Darwin. Why do I do this to myself? I have like Foden, Sterling, Darwin, James. It's these players that never actually play. And when they do, they're so annoying and frustrating. But I can't help it. Like, if I could bring in 3 players now... Does anyone remember my Game Week 8 wildcard last year when I had Sterling, Foden, Bowen? Was it Sterling? No, it was Maddison, Foden, Bowen, wasn't it? Those 3 players, and then they got me like 15 plus points, all 3 of them. They're the sort of players that I like in FPL. Especially Foden and Sterling. They're just so hit and miss. But when you get on them at the right time, they go absolutely nuclear. And when you get them on the wrong time, then you get like a 1-pointer like 5 weeks in a row. But I like those kind of players. It's the same with Darwin. You never know what you're going to get. How is Sterling better than Foden? Fixtures. It's as simple as that. Like, if you look at Chelsea's fixtures, and it's not just the green colour on DFDR, by the way. Sheffield United is the best fixture in the league. Everton and Wolves at points have defended well, but I still expect goals. Palace at home is brilliant right now. Luton away is good from an attacking perspective, but they do look like they'll score goals. Fulham at home, excellent fixture. Liverpool away, not great, but Wolves at home, great. Palace are then, again, assuming they still have the injuries that they've got, that's, again, a fine fixture. And then after that, the fixtures start to turn. But I think you've got until Game Week 24, which is the 10th of February, until you'd want to take out your Chelsea assets. For Man City, they have a blank in Game Week 18. The next 2 are brilliant, by the way. Luton away, Crystal Palace at home. Blank in 18. Everton, Sheffield United, nice. Then Newcastle, then Burnley, Brentford, Everton, Chelsea. So I think the fixtures are arguably similar. When you take into account a blank fixture here, though, I think I'm slightly less convinced. And also minutes as well. I do think Sterling is slightly more nailed than Foden. Although I think that's probably quite close, actually. Ross, is a Chelsea defender more of a priority than a Chelsea attacker? I'd say the opposite at the moment. I'd say Chelsea look more likely to score goals than they do keep a clean sheet. So I would probably favour a Chelsea attacker than a Chelsea defender, believe it or not. JM says, accidentally brought in Gallagher instead of Palmer. Oh no. Would you free hit to wipe out the transfer or just keep him, starting Brentwaite and Lascelles? I wouldn't free hit just because of one transfer, because then what you're saying is you value, I guess it's 2 transfers, but you don't value a free hit at 2 transfers. A free hit's worth 6, 7 transfers, and your team's probably fine outside of that. I know you're starting Brentwaite and Lascelles, but both could keep clean sheets if Lascelles plays, of course. I would just reverse the transfer and just bring in Palmer if it was me. But that's just me. If you were like eyeing up a free hit anyway, then maybe you go for it. By the way, if you are enjoying today's stream, even though I'm a bit of a mess, then please do smash the like button. It helps to spread the stream to other people, and make sure to subscribe as well. I appreciate it. I've not really been asking people to subscribe as much recently, and I've been gaining no subscribers. And then in one video, I was just like, come on guys, please subscribe. And then loads of people did. Which is why if you say why do YouTubers always beg for subscribers, it's because if we don't ask, no one subscribes. Start Gabriel or Lascelles. I'd still go Gabriel there. Mitchell to Shaw for a -4. That rhymes. Or just start Gabriel and get Porro next week. I would do that. Yeah, I would go Porro. I think Porro is a slightly better option. What are your team plans for AFCON/Asia Cup? I'll be entirely honest, I've not got that many plans at the moment, but I only have... I just want to confirm this before I lie to you. Yeah, I've only got 2 players at the moment, right? Salah and Son. So I've not really got that many issues with the Asian Cup and AFCON, but it is still 2 players. So that's still 2 transfers, and I want to make sure that I don't load up. I think if you've got more than 5 players in your team right now going off to AFCON and the Asian Cup, you probably need to start thinking about a plan. Maybe remove 1 in 19, 2 in 20, and then 2 in 21 or something like that, and you might end up having to take a hit. Or you can maybe get away with benching them. Like if it's something like a Gerd from West Ham, then maybe he sits on your bench for a few weeks. But if you've got like Salah, Son, Kudus, Hwang, maybe that's your midfield, Salah, Son, Kudus and Hwang, then Kudus and Hwang, then you're probably looking at your team and like, oh dear, all of them are going to be leaving me in Game Week 21. I did a couple of videos, I can't remember what video it was. Game Week 15 preview or 14. I went through the AFCON and Asia Cup list of players that could miss out. But you can find it on the BBC and also on Fantasy Football Hub. There's an article on Fantasy Football Hub and there's an article on BBC which lists the players that are likely to go to AFCON or the Asian Cup. Should I bring in Kevin De Bruyne soon? From what I've heard, he's still not quite there. The reason that he was included in the Club World Cup squad list is so that he can still pick up a trophy. Or a medal, I suppose. So I don't think he was included because he's going to be fit for the Club World Cup. I think he was included because maybe he's soon coming back, but more so just so that he can go there with the team and also pick up the award. Obviously, that's if they win, of course. Daddy Raptor, who do I bench out of Hwang or Palmer? You don't bench Hwang this week. You don't bench Palmer either. They're both penalty takers. Bench someone else. I wouldn't bench a penalty taker. Definitely not Hwang. If you're going to bench one, it's Palmer, but I wouldn't want to bench either, in all honesty. Henry says, should I play Raya or Dubravka this week? Ooh, that's a great question. I would go David Raya. I think Arsenal are a better defence. And I think Villa and Tottenham are very similar attacks. Although if Son is out, Dubravka's probably... Maybe I would lean Dubravka just because there are concerns about Son. If Son was definitely fully fit, I would probably go Raya. But the fact that there is a chance that Son doesn't play, I think that will make Spurs... While Spurs will still attack, I think it will make them a lot weaker. Mateus says, how about a Brighton defender, Van Heck for 4 million? Is Van Heck getting enough minutes, though? Don't know. Let's take a quick look. Van Heck. I'll be honest, I've completely disregarded Brighton as an FPL team. Like, I couldn't care less about Brighton. Yeah, Van Heck looks good then. If he's going to continue getting starts, but I don't know if that's because another Brighton defender's injured. Any Brighton fans in the chat? What's the situation with Van Heck? Is he nailed? When's Webster back? Unknown return date. So is it Duncan Van Heck playing as the two centre-backs? Where's Igor playing then? I'm honestly, I do apologise. I'm up to date with every team in FPL apart from Brighton. De Zerbi ball just annoys me so much. There is no rhyme or reason to the 11 that he picks. The fact that João Pedro doesn't get into the starting 11 every week is mind-boggling. He's just so good. I just don't get it. Let's see what the chat is saying about Van Heck and Igor. Fatty's out for 3 months. Yeah, but we're talking about the defence at the moment. Okay, he's first choice, everyone seems to think. Yeah, go for Van Heck then. Go for Van Heck, why not? Oh, Dunk has been suspended. Yeah, but he was starting before Dunk was suspended, wasn't he? Is that why Eagles? Okay, I get you. Okay, I'm there. I'm up to date. Yeah, Van Heck's fine then. I still don't know that I would want to trust the Brighton defence, but if you're looking for a cheap player, are you keeping Saka long term? For the time being, yeah, because there are just other issues to sort in my team. Like, I unfortunately don't have that many luxury transfers at the moment because my defence is a bit weak. I have issues like Alvarez I'm not overly convinced with. Darwin, fixtures start to turn soon. Son may be injured. I like to take out in Burmo. On top of that, I've got Trippier on 4 yellows. Simicast I need to remove soon. Gahey's got poor fixtures. James is a mess. Like, when I look at my team, I'm like, Saka is one of the only ones that I don't need to touch for the time being. So, yeah, Saka probably will remain long term. Emma says, start Hwang or Gordon this week. Start Hwang. Hwang's got a great fixture on pens and in very, very good form as well. And good data. I love Hwang. I would bring him in if Mrs. Raptor didn't have him. But I can't do that. Because she'll say I'm copying her and then I can't. Thoughts on Bruno captain? Want to go differential? I still think there are better ways to go differential than with captaincy. But if you want to captain a differential option, Bruno, you could do worse than Bruno this week. Absolutely. There are definitely worse options. But I just think Haaland's there, right? And if you don't have Haaland, I still think Salah at Selhurst Park is a fine option. Shazam says, happy Saturday, Ross. I already have Palmer and Sterling. Do I leave the double Chelsea or swap Sterling for Bowen for a -4? Firstly, happy Saturday. Secondly, I would just keep Sterling. I do really like Bowen, but I wouldn't say that Bowen's a much better option than Sterling, and certainly not for a hit. So I would just have Palmer and Sterling. Maybe not great this week against Everton, but next week against Sheffield United at home, assuming they both start, you're going to be very glad that you kept them. Kay says, starting Lord Taylor instead of Gabriel, hence both conceding. I understand that Villa are very good, but you've got to start Gabriel instead of Taylor. In my opinion, anyway. Angelina says, have the same front three as you. Would you bench one for Gordon? No. No, I wouldn't. I would be tempted by Watkins, but I think Watkins at home is just a great option. I've just seen the poll. Chat, are you kidding me? 27% roll the transfer, 26% Gahey to Porro, 22% Martinez to Burn Sterling, 25% the Haaland one. So it's literally a 4-way split, almost exactly 25% for all of them. You are honestly the most useless chat that has ever existed. I don't even know why I bother streaming anymore. If you're going to be that useless, then why am I here? You're supposed to help me out. Everyone's like, time for the will. Do you know what? Maybe the will would help me more than you lot. You're absolutely useless. At least the will is definitive and decisive, you know? Would you bench Saka over Hwang? Yeah, I would start Hwang over pretty much everyone. Stop getting so excited just because you have him.
I didn't know people rated him that much.
Yeah, she's been complaining about it for weeks. Like, oh, he's not that great. I'm just been like, he's been returning every week for you.
No, he hasn't. He got 1 point of the week for us.
Stop complaining. Hwang's great. Spin the wheel. Should I do it? Is it time? It's a very early spin. We're only half. Do you know what? Nothing wrong with an early spin. It might give me a bit of an inclination as to what I want to do. You know? Because sometimes when the wheel's spinning, I'm like, aha, this is now what I know what I want. We've got roll the transfer. Transfer. We've got Gahey to Porro. We've got Martinelli. It would probably be to Bowen, so I'm going to go to Bowen. Or we have Haaland in. I'll just do it like that, so I don't have to type it all out. Right. Kylo GG, thank you very much for becoming a Rap Tier 1 member. Do make sure you drop us a message to get added to the group chat on Discord. Are you ready? Spin the wheel. Maybe I should just bring Wang. Who knows? Oh no, the wheels. Okay. Okay. You know what? I respect the will. I'm not going to say anything. I respect the will. I will not argue with the will. Oh, dear. Oh, chat. Right. Maybe, should we do first to 3? Because, listen, I'm not trying to rig the wheel here, but maybe the wheel needs longer to think about this decision. Maybe the wheel needs a little bit longer to think. I'll spin again. Okay, now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. Yeah. First to 3. Now we're cooking. Gahey to Porro. More like it. No, I do respect the will. Don't say I don't respect the will, but a bit more conservative. I respect it. Just keep spinning until I get what I want. Oh, okay. Now everything's getting spun on now. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, do you know what? You can piss off, Will. Done with your nonsense. Oh, God. The chat's useless. The will's useless. I give up. Nobody can help me. Stupid Will. Do you know what? If Son was out, I'd do it. I'm not that stubborn. Like, if Son was confirmed out or there was a real doubt associated with him, I would do Son and Alvarez to Haaland and Baptiste. And it would mean I could start Martinelli this week, which isn't ideal, but moving forward, I'm fine with 3-4-3. Like, it would be absolutely fine. The issue is I'm selling Alvarez, who still has Luton away. He's got the same fixture as Haaland, and selling what is probably a fit Heung-min Son. That's my issue with Haaland. It's not getting Haaland back that I don't like. It's who I have to sell to do it. McNeil for a 1-week punt. Thoughts, mate? For a 1-week punt, I think there are much better players for a 1-week punt than someone playing against Chelsea. Not that Chelsea are great, but there are just better fixtures, I think. But McNeil's been playing really well recently, so you never know. But I think there are probably slightly better 1-week punts. Bench 1 of Porro, Tsimikas, Gordon, and Son. Probably Gordon. No, maybe Porro. I don't know that you can bench Tsimikas because it's a pretty good fixture. And because he was benched midweek, we think he'll start. And Liverpool have been very good defensively. I would bench one of Porro or Gordon, depending on which way you expect the game to go. If you expect Newcastle to score goals, Porro. If you think there's a chance for a clean sheet, then maybe I would bench Gordon. Zubin says, -4 to bring in Gordon/Bowen or just play Semenyo. I'll just play Semenyo. Man United aren't perfect defensively. They're actually this season, I believe, 18th for expected goals conceded at home. Like, at home, we concede a lot of chances. So I'd probably be tempted to just start Semenyo. Adam says, Salah or Haaland captain, and out of the 3, I need to play 2. Darwin, Adingra, or Kudus. I think Haaland's a better captain than Salah this week, so I would captain Haaland. Play 2 of Darwin, Adingra, or Kudus. I would probably bench Adingra there. Even though he's got Burnley at home, he's the least likely of the three to start, I think. And even if he does start, I think I still prefer Kudus and Darwin with their fixtures. Jay says, bench one, Gabriel, Saliba, Maguire, Tsimikas. I would bench probably one of Gabriel or Saliba. I don't think I'd want double defence against Aston Villa. So I would go Gabriel. I don't know. Gabriel, when he starts, probably has more attacking threat than Saliba. But I guess small chance he's benched at some point, but not in this week. Who has the better... I actually don't know the answer to that question. Just in case you're looking, let's have a look. Just in case you're looking to bench one of Gabriel's team, but maybe sell one as well. Might be worth having a quick look into their data. Because we know Saliba's slightly more now, but he's very expensive, isn't he? So, Saliba. Gabriel. Show only selected players. Per 90... Okay, so XG, Gabriel's got slightly higher XG, and Saliba's got slightly higher expected assist. So they've got exactly the same. Yeah, they've got basically exactly the same data. What about bonus points? Saliba's slightly better for bonus points. God, but there's 0.6 million between them. I think if I was looking to sell one, I think I'd sell Saliba and keep Gabriel. You might get one more benching, but you save 0.6, which is quite valuable at the moment. Yeah, I think I would keep Gabriel. And again, if you're starting one this week, I'd maybe start Gabriel. Slightly better from set pieces, I think. And just from previous data as well. It's not just this season as well. We've seen in the past, Gabriel is class from set pieces. FPL Pricey in the chat says, hey mate, hope you're well. Final free transfer, Areola to Sanchez or cash to Porro. Keep up the good work and make sure to subscribe to FPL Pricey. Damn right. If you're not subscribed to FPL Pricey, get that done right now. Areola to Sanchez. I like that a lot. Or cash to Porro. I mean, this week, Areola to Sanchez feels like the better move to make. Unless, I mean, if you don't play cash, who do you start this week in defence? I'd kind of need to see the rest of your defence. They're both moves you're going to want to make, aren't they? They're both moves you're going to want to make. If your other defender that you would start, if you don't make the cash move, is someone like Taylor, then I would probably do cash to Porro. Otherwise, if you've got a decent other defender you could start, I would do Areola to Sanchez. That would be the way I'd look at it. I really need Darwin to go big. Darwin and Tsimikas, because they were benched midweek, it was one of the reasons that I struggled a bit. I need them both to kind of go fairly big this week. It's the early kickoff, actually, isn't it? I've just remembered. Hang on a second. I've got Tsimikas, Captain Salah, and Darwin in the early kickoff. Oh, God, that's gross. That could be a horrible start to my weekend. Mrs. Raptor, bless her, is going to have to spend the whole weekend with me sulking. Start Gordon or Solanke? I would start Gordon in that situation. Hello from Australia, Ross. What are your opinions on taking a hit for a goalie if you are on Areola/Turner, as well as Gakey to Porro? Feel as if hits are not worth it for both. I have no issue with Turner to Dubravka or Turner to Sanchez or Turner to Raya or Turner to Leno. I think in a single week, it is unlikely that your goalkeeper will pay back that hit immediately. However, I just think that with the way that FPL is at the moment, you're never probably going to have a free transfer to use on your goalkeeper, or it's very unlikely you will. So maybe just do it. Suck it up, lose the 4 points, but get in a goalkeeper that you are so much happier owning. So this is one of the very, and I mean very rare instances where I would probably use this as an opportunity to sort out your goalkeepers for a -4 hit. And then just hope that you don't have to make another goalkeeper transfer until you play your second wildcard. Connell says, done Mbermo to Palmer. Nice. One free transfer left. Areola/Turner to Dubravka or Roll. Yeah, then it's for free, Connell. So in that case, I definitely would. Also, can we review what the wheel predicted last week to check the accuracy? someone mentioned this. I would kind of need someone to do it for me. So moving forward, if there's someone that is in every single live stream, and I mean like every single one, you haven't missed one this season, and you enjoy the wheel, and you would like to every week make a note of what decision the wheel makes and message it to me, and I can bring up like a graph with the accuracy, then I would love that. But I also know that's a lot to ask. So only if someone wants to do that, drop me a message, and we can bring up every week. We can say that the wheel has been like 65% accurate this season. Otherwise, I will probably not do it, because that is just, I'd have to go back through and watch my streams and track it all and stuff like that. Starsky says, sell 8 Nuri or Anderson for Porro. Cheers. It looks like 8 Nuri will miss this week, but Anderson's got terrible fixtures moving forward. I don't know what the latest update was on 8 Nuri. If you think 8 Nuri will be back very soon, then I would probably opt for selling Anderson for Porro. If there's no real update, then maybe just sell the injured player, because at least Anderson's playing. Rough season, are you seeing managers drop off? I think we always do, but I haven't seen much more of a drop off than normal. Views still seem fairly decent on YouTube. The FPL community on Twitter is still fairly engaged. It's always the same, that the more casual managers that play for a bit of fun do drop off. FPL Logan Roy says, I'll be your Will boy. Nice. If you actually do want to be my Will boy, then message me. If I have more than one person message me, then I'll just pick whoever messaged me first, I guess. Hey, Ross, who would you replace in Burma with? Douglas Luiz or Hwang? Already have Palmer and Gordon. I'll go for Hwang. Great pick. Great option. Captaining Salah is actually crazy. Is it? You could just get a notepad and write down the wheel prediction, or get your girlfriend to do it. I could do, but I'd like to actually like track it properly, because then I also need to work out what did the wheel predict thing, cross-reference that to who scored the most points or what the best transfer option was that week. And then I have to make a graph and then bring the graphic up on the screen. It's a lot of extra work for for me on top of what I already do. So if someone wanted to do it, that's great. Otherwise, then I'm just not going to do it. And I'm not going to ask my girlfriend to do work for me. She'd expect to be paid and all sorts, probably. Yep, she's nodding like, yep, I'd expect a really good salary. I'll give you 40 grand a year to track the wheel. Deal?
Yes.
All right, there we go. I'm overpaying slightly, but she's worth it. That makes it sound like no, I'm not paying her to my girlfriend. Whoa, hold up a sec. Doesn't the wheel have a memory bank? Or is it like a scene from Memento? No, I don't think it has a memory bank, sadly. Got terrible memory, the old wheel. Does whatever it wants. Stones or James, choose one. To bring in? Neither. Both injury prone. Probably Stones. I wouldn't bring in Reece James. Reece James is a nightmare to own. Is Areola confirmed out? No. Should we start? Do you think we should start Areola? Chat, if you have Areola and Dubravka, should we just start Areola? Because if he does start, he's probably a better keeper than Dubravka. Not a better keeper. He's got a better fixture at least. Chat, just answer. I'm not going to run a poll, but just answer in the chat. If you have Areola and Dubravka, who are you starting this week? Just write either Areola or Dubravka. I'm tempted to just do that, because obviously he'll either be out or not feature at all. Okay, yeah, everyone seems to be doing that. Okay, let's do that. I agree. Because I think if there was no injury, my plan was probably to start Areola. So let's do it like that. I like having Martinelli first sub. I think he's a really nice first sub, because what I love about Martinelli is if Martinelli pops off and got me like 20 points on my bench, it hurts a little bit, but he's so lowly owned that it doesn't actually affect my rank. Equally, if Heung-min Son is out, I think he's a decent enough option. Like, not a great fixture, but he's a good player. So I'm happy to have him come off the bench. I'm so glad he got me points last week as well. I know it was only 7, but I've owned him since... Is it here? So I owned him for 3 blanks in a row. So I needed something from him. Also, next week, I may play Martinelli. Brighton at home. Because I was tempted to transfer him out here, but I think I'd actually take him out for game week 18, blank game week 18. I think, do you know what? I can actually show you my transfer plans. That might be a little bit easier. I'll show you my transfer plans in a second because I've sort of roughly planned out what I want to do. So if we go over to Hub for a second, not that Hub, and we go on to pick and rate him. Oh, I didn't save it. Right, I can show you live, actually. This works still. So I've already taken out in Burmo, haven't I? Brought in Palmer. Oh, by the way, the Fantasy Football Hub just keep making the site better. You can now click on a player that you want to remove, and it gives you the AI recommended transfers on the actual main screen. They are still doing the 30-day free trial, by the way. I think that ends this week. Might be next week. I don't want to lie to you. So either this week or next week. But if you do want to sign up to Fantasy Football Hub, they're currently offering a 30-day free trial. So it's the only chance you'll really ever get to test it before signing up as a paid member. So there is a link in the description if you want to try that out. What was I doing? Okay, so Palmer. Let's say that that's the only move I make this week. Let's make the transfers. There is a chance, obviously, I make another move like Porro in for Gakey or whatever. But let's say that's the only move I make this week. Then next week, I would still make the Porro move. Probably. Unless there are other things that crop up. I would then bring Porro... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I would then bring Porro in for... Simicast? Oh, why? Why are you doing this to me? Don't do this to me. So Porro would come in anyway. Simicast, I don't think I would need to take out this week. I think it would be... There you go. Okay, it worked eventually. Because then I'd have Trippier, James, Porro. Brilliant defence. I mean, unless Trippier gets booked. If Trippier does get booked in game week 16, then I probably would need to take out Simicast. Because I've got Taylor against Everton, which I could play, but I feel like then that would offer me the chance to make the move I want to make. And then I would obviously probably bench Darwin, and I would bring Martinelli into the 11. And then in game week 18, I don't know why Gakey just doesn't want to leave for me. He doesn't want to become Pedro Porro. This would be the team in blank game week 18. I would probably at this stage take out Martinelli for Bailey, I think is the plan. And then... Do I take out Darwin or do I just start Darwin? Why do those transfers not want to make place? So my team would look something like this for blank game week 18, which is why I now don't need the free hit. I would probably captain Heung-min Son or Watkins, but I think I'm leaning Heung-min Son at the moment. And then it would be Dubravka, Trippier, James, Porro, Son, Salah, Saka, Palmer, Bailey, Watkins, Darwin. I mean, that's arguably as good as a free hit in 18 anyway. So, yeah, that's the rough plan over the next couple of weeks is Palmer's in this week already. I want Porro to come in the next couple of weeks. And then I probably want to bring in Bailey. And I may well sort out Simicast as well. The rough plan anyway. It could, of course, change. Show the bench. Oh, the bench was Alvarez, who doesn't have a fixture, Simicast, and Taylor. But Taylor's got Fulham, I think, in that week. So it's not the end of the world if I need to play Taylor. Why don't you want Haaland back? It's not that I don't want Haaland back. It's that I would have to sell Son and Watkins. Either Son and Watkins or Son and Alvarez. But I just don't think it's worth taking a hit this week and selling two players that I like. You never know. Alvarez could outscore Haaland. Unlikely. Unlikely, but you never know. Get rid of James, you madman. Do you know what? James and I have been through a lot together. I think I want to keep him. Who would you bring in for Mbermo? I'm going to take a swig of my water and you can look at my list. Here you go. Here's my Mbermo. Trippier and Darwin could go. Go where? Where are they going, Ben? Do you have the early news? Nothing yet. I would imagine. I mean, we've only been streaming for 50 minutes, haven't we? I would imagine in about 40 minutes we could start getting early team news. It wouldn't be yet, I don't think. And there's no chance there's no confirmation that we actually will get it. Is Gordon injured? I don't think so. Not as far as I'm aware. Unless I've missed something. Is Tavernier a good option? I think there are much better options myself. Diaby. You've just put Diaby. What are my thoughts on Diaby? I think Diaby will continue to be benched for the foreseeable future. I think Bailey is playing far too well. His data's good, passing the eye test, linking up play well. I mean, Bailey's been playing well all season, in all honesty. You've changed that since your previous stream. You had Kulusevski and not Bailey. Yeah, I didn't have space for both of them, and I just think out of that list, Kulusevski's the one with the poorest data. Also, Kulusevski's doesn't really get close enough to goal for me. Brennan Johnson is... I would rather own Brennan Johnson than Kulusevski. I think Kulusevski's more nailed, but I think Brennan Johnson's a greater goal threat. So if you're going to go for a Spurs winger, I prefer Brennan Johnson to Kulusevski myself. Who do you pick from Garnacho, Souček, or Lo Celso? This week, I really like Garnacho. I think he'll start again. Longer term, I think Lo Celso might be the slightly better pick, at least until Maddison's back. I think McTominay deserves to be mentioned as well. He's playing as like a dual 8 for us. He's getting forward a lot. He's had a lot of shots in the box as well. And it wasn't just against Chelsea. The last like 5 or 6 games, McTominay's been very attacking. So I would chuck McTominay in there. I'd probably go longer term, Lo Celso, McTominay, Garnacho, Souček. This week, Garnacho, McTominay, Lo Celso, Souček, probably. Start Colwill or Fabian Schär. Thanks for your content. I'd probably go Fabian Schär, just about. I think both will probably concede. Bowen for captaincy over Salah. What are your thoughts? Bowen away from home is great, but I also think Salah is fine in this fixture. But yeah, I actually don't mind that at all. Is it worth taking a -4 hit to bring in Dubravka? Yeah, I think I've said this is one of the weeks where I wouldn't mind taking a -4 to just sort out your goalkeeper. Get it sorted, take the hit, accept that you're losing 4 points, but get the goalkeeper that you want moving forward. I would be very tempted to take a hit to sort out your goalkeeper. It doesn't have to be Dubravka, by the way. I think Leno's fine. I think Sanchez is fine. Raya is fine as long as he keeps his place. If he keeps making mistakes, he might not. Right, this poll is the most unhelpful thing I've ever seen. Like, I actually think you've done this on... But it's genuinely almost 25% for every single one. Gahey to Porro just about wins out. I'm probably leaning towards either Gahey to Porro or roll the transfer at the moment. Chat, I think you might be right. Maybe I'm getting ill. It's weird. You know me better than I know myself. Isn't that sweet? Don't you guys know me well? What am I doing? A poll for a captaincy now. I want to see how much Haaland's going to bend me over this weekend. Haaland. Salah. Chat, who are you captaining if not Haaland and Salah? Spam in the chat if you're captaining someone other than Haaland or Salah so that I can add a third option to this wheel. Just bring in Haaland. Yeah, but it's not just bring in Haaland. It's remove Alvarez with exactly the same fixture and Son. People are captaining Hwang, Watkins, Bowen, Trent, Hwang. Lots of Hwangs and Alvarezes. Watkins. I think Alvarez probably looks like the third most common option. I'll put Alvarez in there then. To be honest, it's just going to be everyone captaining Haaland, and then anyone that doesn't have Haaland probably captains Salah. But, yeah. Kagawa. Shinji Kagawa. I used to love Kagawa. That was... Do you know what? It was... When I think of Kagawa, I think of like Tom Cleverley as well. He was in the same starting 11, I think. Robin van Persie. What a... Oh, my camera's gone. What an era that was. Right, I've just run a captaincy poll in the chat. There is Haaland, Salah, Alvarez, other comment. God, Shinji Kagawa. What is Shinji Kagawa doing these days? Let me quickly Google that. Oh, he's still playing in the Japanese league. How old is he now? He's 34. Oh, I loved Shinji Kagawa. What an absolute baller. Let me know in the comment in the chat if you remember the main man Shinji. Right, come on, camera. Just do your thing. Reset yourself. Hi, mate. What are your thoughts on Colwell? Needs to free up money in defence. I don't mind him, Andy. I think at that cheaper price with the fixtures coming up, you can't really go wrong. If he gets the odd bench, and he gets the odd benching, but still probably worth it. BJ, great name, says start Simicast, you doggy, or Cash. Simicast for me. Simicast. I wonder if the camera's going to work from just one reset today. Yes, it is. Great work. Watkins, Alvarez to Haaland, Semenyo. Funds for Watkins back to Darwin for Game Week 18. Or just Darwin and Alvarez to Haaland and Semenyo now. No need to get Watkins back. It's basically, do you think Watkins will outscore Darwin by 1 transfer? So 4 points. Sorry, do you think Darwin will outscore Watkins by 4 points? If you desperately want Haaland back in, I would probably try and keep Darwin for 1 more week. So I would do Watkins and Alvarez to Haaland and Semenyo. That would be what I would do, Jordan. But I also think you don't need Haaland back this week. That's a bold thing to say, isn't it, before Luton? I don't think, anyway. Especially because you're selling Alvarez. And I'm not saying Alvarez is even half the FPL option that Haaland is, but could Alvarez do well against Luton? Absolutely, if he starts, of course. I'm slightly concerned that he might not start. Bench Saliba for Pinnock. Don't see an Arsenal clean sheet. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I would start Pinnock ahead of Saliba. Liverpool confirmed lineup. Alisson, Trent, Van Dijk, Konsa, Simicast, Endo, Gravenberch, Soboslai, Salah, Darwin, and Diaz. Really? How do we know this, Owen? Talk to me. Where do we get this from? Is this going around on Twitter already? I can have a quick look, or are you the source? If you just given me the... If that's correct, by the way, not only have you just given me a £5 super chat, but you've also given me the starting lineup. I'm a little bit hesitant, of course, because I don't have the source. Let me quickly look. If there's anything floating around on Twitter. Can't see anything yet. If any of the mods know the... Okay, Frosty just said not see anything. Let me know, Frosty, if something crops up. Klopp said no Alisson. Did he? Well, then that source is immediately mudded. That source is immediately mudded. But thank you anyway, Owen, if you did get that information. Captain Hwang or Haaland? I never thought I would see the day where someone says, should I captain Hwang or Haaland? I would obviously go Haaland. Hi, Mr. Raptor. I really want to do Salah and Lascelles to Trent and Saka. Do you think this is a bad idea? Love your content, my streamer. Thank you very much for the lovely words. Would I do Trent and Saka in for Salah and Lascelles? I don't think so. I don't think I would. It's not a bad idea. Your question is, do I think it's a bad idea? No. Would I do it? No. Because I think that Trent's fixtures are starting to run out from a defensive perspective, and Salah's got 3 not easy fixtures coming up from an attacking perspective as well. I think Villa away, then Liverpool in Game Week 18. It's not ideal. So I would probably rather keep Salah and just try and find another way to move Lascelles on. Would be my opinion, but I mean, go for it if you feel like it's the right move for your team. And Shep says, thinking of bringing in a Man City defender and carrying them through the blank as they have good fixtures for clean sheet in the next few. What are your thoughts? They've just got so low upside. They're not good for bonus points. They've got no attacking threat, really, apart from Ake, who's the least nailed. I'm just not convinced by it. I just don't know what you're gaining by bringing in a City defender. They would need to keep so many clean sheets to be worth it, because they just don't have the attacking threat to go alongside it. And like I said, because Haaland scores so many goals, and because the likes of Foden, Alvarez, Bernardo Silva chip in, they don't even tend to be that good for bonus points if they do keep a clean sheet. Because Haaland always mops up 3 bonus points. Alvarez, if he gets anything, will pick up 1 or 2. You're looking at a 6 or 7 pointer maximum. You never get a 9 pointer from a Man City like centre back. So I just don't think it's worth it for me. Sorry, I feel like I'm putting everyone off their moves. Everyone that's asked me questions today, I'm like, not for me. Chris says, Gahey to Porro for a -4 or take the bad fixture and sort it out in game week 17. I would do it this week. Gahey's not getting you more than 2 points. So if Porro gets you anything, he pays back the hit and then you're sorted moving forward. I would chase the upside and probably do it this week. But obviously, there's also a chance that Porro blanks. Hey Raptor, sorry I'm late. Had to pick up my car from the mechanic. You're absolutely fine, no worries. That sounds like a euphemism. You know, like dropping the kids off at the pool. Is that what it's called? When you do a number 2? That's to pick up my car from the mechanic. Klopp said Alisson is fit. Watch the press again. He's been training the last 3 days. Yeah, I thought he said that, but everyone else seems to disagree, Owen. We'll see. Listen, Owen, if you're correct, then keep feeding me the team news moving forward. Oh, I really want Phil Foden. Quite bad, actually. Do love me some Phil Foden. Martinelli out, Hwang in for a -4, but 2.6 million in the bank. Very nice. Go for it, yeah. Bench 1, Palmer, Son, Bowen, Alvarez, Watkins, Darwin. Oof. So the ones you can't bench are Darwin, Bowen, Alvarez. So it's between Palmer, Son, and Watkins. I would bench Watkins, Rashid. Maybe Palmer, but probably Watkins. I'm flip-flopping between Sterling and Foden. If Sterling didn't have 4 yellows, it would be an easier choice. I think, yeah, Sterling's going to get suspended soon for diving, isn't he? Because he dives every week. And sooner rather than later, he's going to get booked for that and pick up a 5th yellow. My concern is that Sterling's also maybe due a bit of a rest. I don't know. Chat, who do we prefer out of Sterling and Foden? I honestly don't know. Let me have a look at the data in a second. Hi, Mr. Raptor. I'll tell you, I did that. Did I? No, I didn't do that one. Hi, Mr. Raptor. Need to bench one of Darwin, Hwang, Gordon, Palmer, Salah, Saka, Watkins, and Haaland. I mean, I think that's similar to what I just said with the other person. Although you've got Gordon in there as well. It would be Gordon, Palmer, or Watkins. I'd be tempted to bench Gordon. Not great away from home. Expect Spurs to do fairly well in this game. Although maybe we might see a bit of a response from Newcastle. I'm going to narrow it down for 2 to you. I'll say it's either Gordon or Watkins you bench there, and I'll let you make that decision. Mbermo, Isak, and Areola to Bowen, Solanke, and Dubravka. It's okay. If it's for a -4, yes. For a -8, I'm less convinced, Kieran. By the way, if you're interested in the captaincy poll, 75% of you are captaining Haaland at the moment. If you are enjoying today's stream, please do smash that like button and make sure to subscribe as well. Did anyone subscribe since the last time I asked? 50 of you. 50 of you said, actually, do you know what? I will subscribe to this egg. So please could another 50 of you do it again? It'd be wonderful. Any news on Doku, Ross? I haven't seen anything yet, sadly. And they play on Sunday, don't they, Man City, I think. I always forget to look at like who's playing when. I only just clocked on to the fact that Liverpool the early kickoff a couple of days ago. Because it doesn't really affect my FPL decision-making, but it's good for knowing when the games are on. Yeah, Man City play at 2 p.m. on Sunday. There's no Monday night football, is there? No. No Friday night football and no Monday night football. It's nice. All the games on Saturday and Sunday. We've actually got 4 3 p.m. kickoffs, and I actually identified earlier, I don't have a single player in the 3 p.m. kickoffs. Let me show you them, chat. You let me know if you've got any players in the 3 p.m. kickoffs. These are the fixtures this week. Anyone got any players in the 3 p.m. kickoffs? Mrs. Raptor has Hwang, which is nice. Some of you might have Bruno or Maguire. Some of you might have like a João Pedro or a Dingra. Maybe you've got a Chris Wood. Flecken, someone's got. Pinnock. Hwang and Maguire. Cool, you got 2. Solanke. Oh, yeah, of course. Solanke, true. Frosty's got Dallo. I like it. Okay. Maybe it's just me that doesn't have any players. It's going to be a bit of a sad 3 p.m. But we're off for like a Christmas dinner thing. So maybe it's good that I won't be focusing on FPL. And then I'll have Watkins and Saka. And maybe, but I won't find this out till Sunday, maybe Martinelli as well in the 5:30 p.m. game. Aston Villa Arsenal. That's going to be a cracker of a game. We won't be able to watch that. Sad times. Is Darwin starting? We don't actually have the team news yet, but I would be very, 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 very surprised if Darwin and Tsimikas don't start. Because I think both Darwin and Tsimikas are first choice, and I think they were both rested/rotated midweek. Tsimikas didn't get any minutes. Darwin did, but when he came on, he looked very, very good. I'm not overly concerned yet. But this is why I'm sort of waiting on this second transfer. If we get some last-minute news that one of them is benched, I'd probably take them out. If Darwin's benched, he'd probably come out for me. If Darwin's out... sorry, I didn't mean to say that. If Darwin is benched and we get that confirmation, I would probably bring in Haaland. And I would do Son and Darwin to probably Garnacho or McTominay and Haaland. I'll show you the move. It's worth thinking about because I suppose there is a chance, but I mean, very small chance. Darwin and Son. Do you know what? I'd probably take a punt on Garnacho for this week and then remove him soon. Because I think that McTominay's better longer term, but I like Garnacho for this Bournemouth fixture. And then I have exactly the money for Haaland in here. Oh, I have 0.1 to spare. I could even go Lo Celso. But anyway, I could make those moves. I don't want to accidentally click yes. But Son and Darwin out and Garnacho and Haaland in. If we get confirmation Darwin's benched. I know I'd be losing Son, but I'd be gaining Haaland. So, not the end of the world. I bet people probably want me to make that move anyway. Ads with the £20 super chat. What a generous super chat. Thank you. Says, thanks for all the content. I appreciate it. And thank you for the kind words. My best season to date. Well done. Would you bench Tsimikas or Saliba? For me, that's a relatively easy one. I would bench Saliba. I think Tsimikas has got a much greater chance for a clean sheet and he's got more attacking threat. Anyway, that's the plan if Darwin's out. I think. Not Darwin's out. I keep saying out. If Darwin's on the bench. There's no rumours that Darwin's out, by the way. I'm just planning for contingencies. The other thing, I suppose, if Tsimikas is benched again, then I would probably do the Gehi to Porro move. And then, or I could even take out Tsimikas. But I would take out one of the defenders, bring in Porro, and I would just start Porro this week. So basically, this is another reason I'm waiting, is because whilst I am pretty confident Tsimikas and Darwin start, you just never know. You never know. Any news on Lascelles? Chat, have we seen anything around Lascelles? I'm really sorry, I didn't actually look at the Lascelles. I don't think we got a press conference from Eddie Howe, did we? Because I didn't see anything anyway. Is there a Mrs. Raptor now? Yep, she's there. And for everyone that's saying that I made her up, she came to the FPL meetup. So at least 60 people saw her. So for all of those people that are saying that she's real, I'm looking at her right now. Start Livramento, and I'm not looking at a wall, like everyone always says. I'm not just talking to a wall. Start Livramento or Saliba. I would start probably Saliba, actually, there. We're assuming that Lascelles isn't serious. Okay, there we go. Edmund says, Alvarez, Salah, Turner to Haaland, Gordon, Dubravka, and bench Mbermo for a -4 and 2.4 million in the bank. Thanks, Ross. Excellent content as always. Thank you, Edmund. Would I do that? Alvarez, Salah, Turner to Haaland, Gordon, Dubravka, and bench Mbermo for a -4. I don't like that. Otherwise, I would do that if I thought that was a good set of moves. But I understand that Haaland is arguably a better captain than Salah in both of the next 2 weeks. In which case, maybe you do bring him in ahead of Salah. Like, Salah to Haaland makes sense. It does. Because you'd probably want to captain Haaland in the next 2. But I also think I need to prioritise my transfers elsewhere. Ross says, Cash and Mbermo to Foden and Livramento, or a £4.4 million defender. Cash and Mbermo to Foden and Livramento. Yeah, I like that a lot, Ross. I would be fine with Livramento. I think you've also got Harry Maguire. Fine fixturing, blank game week 18. Good fixture this week as well. So I think it would be one of those 2 options. Start Cunha at home or Gordon away. Oh, I'd be tempted to start Cunha, you know. Yeah, do you know what? I would be tempted to start Cunha. If you're not going to start him this week, when are you going to start him? Very, very weak Nottingham Forest team. Yeah, I would start Cunha, I think. Especially because it's at Molineux. They're very, very good at Molineux. I did that one. Mbermo to Gordon and Anderson to James equals -4. Help. Mbermo to Gordon, I like. Anderson to... I wouldn't bring in Reece James. As much as I love the man, I don't think... This isn't the time to bring in Reece James. Reece James had a 10-day break due to suspension. 10-day break to build up his fitness, and he still didn't start. That is awful. That's really worrying. I'm kind of stuck with him now, because just in case he starts now and then looks a little bit fitter and then goes on a nice run, I'd be gutted that I took him out. So I feel like I'm almost stuck with him a little bit. But if I was choosing fresh now, Porro is comfortably ahead of Reece James in my pecking order. Not necessarily this week, but just moving forward as an asset. Martin says, welcome. Oh, no, he doesn't. Martin, welcome to Raptitude. I think you've already been a member before. Maybe you were a member and then you cancelled. Now you're back again. But thank you very much, Martin. I appreciate it. Vishesh says, start Alvarez versus Watkins. I would start Alvarez ahead of Watkins. Does Mrs. Raptor wear her hat back to front? Yeah. She's got a bald head and she wears her hat back to front as well. Are you not confident in Martinelli this week? It's just I'm very confident that Aston Villa are great at home. And I don't really see... I mean, I could bench Watkins. That's a good question. Then I won't run a poll, but... Would you start Martinelli ahead of any of my other attackers, chat? Maybe it's something to at least consider. I've not really even thought about it. I just immediately defaulted to Martinelli hasn't been great this season. Villa are great at home. Maybe this is a fixture where Martinelli would be suited. High line. Aston Villa high line. Martinelli could do well. What do we think? Most people say no. Martinelli ahead of Darwin. You're mad, Claudette. You're mad. Okay, I think I'm correct. Most people seem to agree with me. To be fair, if Son misses out, then I get Martinelli anyway. Is Almiron a good alternative to go against Gordon? Want to set up a solid team for the next few weeks? I don't think so, no. The data's not as strong as Gordon, and I also think he's slightly less nailed than Gordon as well. I don't mind Almiron, but I think I'd either just go for Gordon or just go for another player from another team. I don't think going against Gordon with Almiron's the best play. Also, Almiron's just a poor finisher. I genuinely believe that. Like, if you watch him, I know he had some excellent finishes last season, but generally I don't trust him to finish his chances. Hamad says, one free transfer. Defense is Gabriel, Anderson, Lascelles, Cash, Taylor, Diaby to Gordon, or a defensive transfer. I would do both. I'd maybe take a hit. Because your defense is a mess, I'll be honest. Cash, Taylor. Cash doesn't even start at the moment. Taylor, you don't really want to rely on. Anderson's got terrible fixtures. Lascelles is a slight doubt with a tricky fixture. And Gabriel is just got a tricky fixture. I don't think you've got a single good defender for this week. So I would make the Diaby move because, again, I think he'll be benched. And I would make the defensive move. So Gordon and Porro in would be quite nice, I think. Tom says Areola and Saliba to Leno and Porro for free. Yeah, I don't know that Saliba to Porro is a massive upgrade, but I understand why you'd want to do it. And Leno in, I like. Everyone is clamouring for Dubravka and maybe Sanchez. Leno's going under the radar a little bit, and Fulham have been good. Do you know what? I'm actually going to run a poll, next poll. I do like running a poll to see whether you're taking a hit or not this week. We'll go -4 hits, -8 hits or more. There you go. I've just run a poll to see if you're using free transfers, rolling the transfer, taking hits, etc. Martinelli is going to punish you, but it's actually impossible for Martinelli to punish me, right? Because he's so lowly owned. It would suck just looking at the points on my bench, but he's not going to punish me, I don't think. I don't think that's the right term to use. When when I hear someone's going to punish me, I'm expecting that to be someone that's going to ruin my rank. Like Haaland could punish me, as a good example. Martinelli is going to slap your bottom. Fairs. Any good Mbermo transfers? Plenty of them. Plenty of them. Whoever you fancy, really. Is Tsimikas starting? We haven't yet had any definitive early team news, but I think that Tsimikas and Darwin should both start. Based on what we saw midweek, I would expect both to start. So I'm just seeing your tweet, Courtney, if you're watching. Thank you very much. I hope your room tidying is going well whilst watching the stream. Right, chat, we're getting a bit sus with all these punishment comments. Bit sus, if you ask me. When aren't you sus, though? That's the real question. Bench Palmer or Gordon? I wouldn't bench either, but I would always favour starting the penalty taker. So I would probably bench Gordon and start Palmer if you had to bench one. Hwang or Bowen? I slightly prefer Bowen just because Hwang's on 4 yellows. And I think I prefer Bowen's fixture in Game Week 18 and then Hwang's off to the Asian Cup. So I think with Bowen, there's a chance that you could hold him through the entire period post going into Game Week 2020, going into Game Week 2024, going into the year of 2024. That's such a weird thing to say, 2024. 2024. Madness that we're going into that year. What do you think about Everton defence? Yeah, fine. They're defending quite well, but I don't think the data's suggesting they're like a elite defence. But let's have a look, because I haven't really looked into Everton's defensive data. We'll go on to Opta Stats. Again, if you do want a 30-day free trial and 30% off, there's a link down below in the description. It's what we call an affiliate link. So I get a little kickback. You also get to sign up to what, in my opinion, is the best fantasy site out there. Also, lots of people always ask me about price changes. I'm not going to go through it now, but Fantasy Football Hub, you can actually get this bit for free, I think. But they do a price change prediction where you can see when players are probably going up and down. So that's what we can use to decide, basically. So, for example, looks like Hwang might go up tonight. Looks like Livramento might go up tonight. Looks like Son is probably going to go down tonight, as is maybe Julian Alvarez. Looks like he could go down tonight. So there are a lot of potential price changes tonight. But let's take a look at the team data. Per appearance, expected goals conceded. Everton are good, aren't they? Everton are the 6th best defence in the league this season. Oh, didn't mean to say that. 6th best defence in the league. This is Everton here. If I just highlight them. Wow. They're as good as Aston Villa. I didn't realise Brentford were that good, by the way. So what about Everton at home versus away? So this week they're at home, aren't they? So at home, they're the 7th best. And away, they're like the 8th best. So Everton are just a good defence. Yeah, go ahead and invest in the defence. Maybe this isn't the week to have brought in Palmer. What idiot would bring in Palmer against such a good defence? Could never be me. Could never be me. Oh dear. Someone's just come into the chat and just commented James with loads of laughing faces. It's a bit rude. Is it time for Pickford yet? Honestly. Let's have a look when I sold Pickford. Let's have a look when I sold Pickford. When did I sell Pickford firstly? Was my GAMEWEEK 8 wildcard, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it was my GAMEWEEK 8 wildcard, and then didn't have Pickford anymore. That was a lovely week. But GAMEWEEK 9. Can we go back to GAMEWEEK 9 when I actually was good at FPL? Right. Let's then look at Pickford's points since then, because it's been wonderful, really. So I sold him in GAMEWEEK 8. And in the first 7 game weeks, he was averaging 1.5 points per game or something like that. He then got 9, 2, 5, 2, 2, 1, 7, 7. So since I sold Pickford, he's kept 4 clean sheets. And in the time that I owned him, he only made like 4 saves, let alone clean sheets. So thanks for that, Pickford. Really appreciate it. And since then, I've had Areola absolutely stinking up my team, getting 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, and then injured. Absolute stink bomb. Then I brought in Dubravka, who's further stinking up the team, conceding 3 to Everton. Do you know what? Do whatever I don't do with goalkeepers. I've never been good at picking goalkeepers. I just don't get it. I just can't wrap my head around it. What are your thoughts on Iwobi, Ross? Could you take a look? Yeah, we can have a look at Iwobi's stats. I'll actually just do it on the FPL site, just so that we can look at game by game. Iwobi. Oh, they've been rubbish all season until recently. And when I say recently, just 2 games. 1.51 XGI against Wolves, and then 0.74 against Forest. I don't mind Iwobi. He's not nailed on for 90 minutes, though. And apart from 2 games, his data's been pretty woeful all season. Even with those 2 games, it's only shot up to 0.44. So I don't mind Iwobi. Maybe not my favourite option, though. What about Willian? Because I've seen a few people looking at bringing in Willian. Similar situation with Willian, really, isn't it? Yeah. I probably prefer Willian just because he's on pens. Is he on pens? Is there a chance Jimenez takes a pen? I think Willian will still be on pens. By the way, I think Jimenez is 5.2 million. I think I'm right in saying that. 5.2 mil. Could do worse. Could do worse. Mark says, who to bench? Tsimikas, Trippier, Pinnock, Gordon. Trippier, Tsimikas, Pinnock, Gordon. Oh, that's a tough one. Probably Gordon. No, you can't bench Gordon ahead of 3 defenders. But Pinnock looks good for a clean sheet. Tsimikas, I think you've got to start this week. Trippier, you can never bench Trippier. I would probably bench Gordon there. I'm just telling everyone to bench Gordon, though, and that's probably a terrible idea. Some of you have much better defences than I do. I wish I had all of those options to choose from in the defence. I've got bloody Reece James in my team. Did you get through in the FPL Cup? I think I had a bye in the FPL Cup. Let me have a look. I don't know where I even see the FPL Cup these days. Oh, cups. Overall Cup. Oh, I did. Oh, yeah, I had a bye. So I didn't actually have anyone. This week, this is who I'm playing. Fami Ashiat. If you're watching, can you imagine if he's actually watching? I actually had that on 2 occasions last year. Someone messaged me saying that they're going against me in the cup, but then I got knocked out of the cup pretty early. So the person that I'm going up against is 3.3 million. Can I see their team? Why can't I see their team? Wait, if I switch this to... If I type in the URL... No. Okay. Ignore me then. Oh, God. I've broken everything. Can't see that team. Oh, click on GameWeek 15. Okay. Everyone knows the site better than I do. Code Red. Code Red. It's not like I've been making content for years. Oh, yeah. Okay. Thanks. Well done, chat. Quite a good team, though. How are they 3.3 mil with that team? So they've got Dubravka and Areola. They've got Simicast. They've got Salah. Oh, they've got Haaland. Okay, well, I'm out the cup then. That was nice. It was a nice run in the cup. Gordon, Saka, Palmer. Yeah, they've basically got the same team as me, but they've got Haaland. They don't have Darwin. So I just need Darwin to outscore Captain Haaland and Alvarez. Basically, it comes down to Darwin and Alvarez. That basically is my week as well, by the way. My week is decided around, does Salah get close to Haaland captain? The answer is no. And then do Darwin and Alvarez actually do something for once? Because let's be real, they've been stinky, haven't they? Should I sub Son and play Bowen? Best FPL channel. Thank you very much. I would definitely play Bowen ahead of Son. If you're saying should you transfer out Son for Bowen, I'm not as sure about that one because I kind of would want Son still until at least until he goes to the Asian Cup. Start Leno or Areola. Leno. Yeah, Leno. Fulham have been good and Leno's good. So yeah. And West Ham stink defensively. Do you think Man United will keep a clean sheet? No. Is Walker starting? Don't know. I would imagine so. He started every game so far this season, hasn't he? Gordon or Hwang? Do you know what? I actually think I slightly prefer Hwang, at least for the next couple. But Gordon obviously doesn't go off to any tournament in Game Week 21. And Gordon has a better fixture in blank Game Week 18. I suppose my only concern is, does it feel like Gordon's due a rest? Am I overthinking that? He's played a lot of minutes. I just wonder, I know they don't really have the options at the moment to rest him, but as soon as they do, I wonder whether Gordon does have a rest coming at some point, whereas Hwang will start every game for Wolves. Bench one of Diaby, Alvarez, and Wissa. I would definitely bench Diaby, because I don't think Diaby will even start himself. Should I start Edouard or Lo Celso? I'd go Lo Celso, I think, myself, there. Could see there being a few goals in that game. Newcastle have Champions League midweek as well. They do, don't they? I could see a bit of a Gordon resting coming soon. They're just going to play him into the ground otherwise. I think it could be a decent fixture again for Spurs here. I know they've just lost to Everton. You expect them to bounce back, but I kind of fancy Spurs to do one over on Newcastle a little bit. What do you think, chat? We'll do the predictions after. By the way, if you've not watched my post-deadline stream, part of the stream, after the deadline, we predict a lot of the games and how we think they'll go. So do stick around after the deadline goes. I've got a feeling Spurs could do something in that game. Shall I captain Trent or Salah? Do I mind a Trent captaincy? I think it's a fine week because I don't think Palace will get many chances, but I would still prefer Salah. But I don't mind Trent. Very rare occasion where I don't mind a defender captain. How many points would you be happy with this week? I would be happy with 10 more points than people that have Haaland. It doesn't matter how many points I score. It's relative to others around me. So in all seriousness, I would be happy with 10 points above the average at my rank. Because that would be like a rank rise to like 350, 300k. Someone said that they have 21 more points than me, and their rank is 200 and something k. So, like, it's still very tightly packed. I would really, really like to try and get closer towards that top 100k. Oh, do we have any leaks yet? I don't think so. There are rumours going around that... I don't know how you pronounce his name. How do you phonetically pronounce that guy's name? Kwanzaa? Kwanzaa? Or is it just like cancer? Kwanzaa? Konsa? The Liverpool guy that's going to apparently play centre back. I don't even know how to pronounce his name, honestly. I'm gonna say Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa. If someone can spell it out phonetically, that would be excellent. Just that I'm not butchering someone's name repeatedly. Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa. Okay. Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa. Okay. Pronunciations with Ross. Start Lascelles or Tarkovsky. Probably both concede. Yeah, I would probably lean... Do you know what? I'd probably lean Tarkovsky. Everton are the better... Like, I think Everton have the better chance for a clean sheet. I'd go Tark, honestly. I didn't realise how good Everton have been defensively this season, but they are right up there. Sam says, cash to Porro for a -4 or just play share. I would just play Fabian Schär, Sam. Yeah, I would just play Fabian Schär. Can you have a look at Senesi expected goal involvement for the last two? I can do, yep. 2 seconds. Palmer or Gordon? I still think Palmer just about edges it for me. I have a feeling Gomez starts because that's Elise's wing, plus Gomez played really well against Sheffield United. Maybe, if that's the case, then I would sell Simicast this week. Bench one of Adingra, Palmer or Gordon. Bench one of Adingra, Palmer or Gordon. I would bench Adingra probably. Just about. Just because he's the most likely to be benched himself. Watkins, Gordon, Palmer, Zinchenko and Colwill. Bench two, start at least one. Oh, start at least one of the defenders. Okay. I would start... From the defenders, I would start... Probably Zinchenko ahead of Colwill. And then out of the attackers, I would bench Colwill and I would bench... I'd bench Colwill and Gordon from those options. Are you keeping Gahey second so over Taylor? It's a good question. Yeah, maybe I'll switch them actually. I don't know why they're that way around. Probably should have thought about that before. We can switch. I may end up removing Gahey soon anyway, though. If Simicast doesn't start. You switch between benching Watkins, Gordon and Palmer through the day. It's because it's different combinations of players. I think all three of them you could argue you'd want to bench, though. I just think Palmer's on pens, which puts him probably above Gordon and Watkins for me. And Watkins is so great at home that I think out of those three, I'd probably just lean Anthony Gordon for the bench. I'm just going to go through Twitter and see if we actually have any Liverpool team leaks. Let's have a look. Haven't seen anything yet, sadly. Maybe we won't get anything this time. If I bring in Sterling, he's 100% getting his second yellow for game week 18, isn't he? Yeah, this is the risk, Frosty. But I mean, I think the way you should probably view it is that they will both miss a game. Right, Foden has a blank and Sterling's going to get suspended. So if you view it as they are both going to miss a game, then it's just who do you prefer out Sterling and Foden. You don't have to think about Foden as one less game than Sterling. Ross, I want a defender and I have 7.2 million. I'd still argue Trippier as the one then. Even though he's got 4 yellows, even though that Newcastle didn't look great in Game Week 15, I still feel like Trippier's the one if you have the funds. Do we have any Areola news? Not at the moment, sadly. Who's best for Liverpool early team news, Raptor? The Cop HQ. The Cop HQ on Twitter. But he doesn't tend to post it too early. So I don't know that we'll actually get it. Outside of that, it could just be the regular sources of early team news, not specifically for Liverpool. Austin Gould has been a member for 14 months. Thank you very much. Sam with the super chat but didn't say anything. So next time, make sure you attach a message. Rob said, Buemo, okay, Mbermo, Jamal. I don't know if that's Bueno as in Hugo Bueno or... Okay, I'm going to say it's Mbermo. Mbermo, Jamal. Who's Jamal? Jamal who? Is that a first name? Oh, Lascelles. Okay. Can we not do like code names for people? It takes me a while to get there. Mbermo, Lascelles, and Alvarez to Isak, Mikalenko, and Palmer. I like that, but I also think you don't need to sell Alvarez this week. But yeah, I do like that, Rob. Bench 2, Palmer, Darwin, Garnacho, Gabriel, Simicas. I would bench Gabriel and Palmer from those 2 options, believe it or not. Even though I just said don't bench Palmer, I would start Darwin and Garnacho. Oh, someone asked me to look at Senecy's expected goal involvement, didn't they? By the way, remarkably, 40% of you are taking a hit this week. 40% of the people watching right now are taking a hit, which is wild. Senecy. I don't know why we're looking at Senecy, but we're doing it. Has it been like really good or something? Yeah, so Senecy had 0.3 expected goal involvement against Aston Villa and then 0.67 against Crystal Palace. If he's nailed on and he continues to put up that crazy data, then maybe Senecy is worth looking at because Bournemouth have been improving. They're still not tight, particularly at the back, but they are still a fantastic... They are still improving as a team and they've been performing fantastically. But I still don't know that I trust them defensively. Like, what is the XGC that they conceded in these games? Wow. Okay. That's actually very good. Oh, wow. Their data has been great defensively. Hang on a second. If we switch to post-game week, like, 12. Bournemouth are the second... Oh, that's only 2 games. Oh, it's because we're away only. 1 second. Bournemouth over the last 4 games, the second best defence in the league. Burnley are the 3rd best defence in the league. If we switch it to do over the last 6 games, Bournemouth are still the 2nd best defence in the league over the last 6. They're the 5th best defence across the last 8. Bournemouth may be worth considering them. Senecy could be the one. Is Senecy 100% nailed, though? These are the questions we need to ask ourselves. Wow, I did not realise Bournemouth were that good. They've got a great fixture in blank game week 18 as well. It's Senesi, not Senecy. Oh, okay, Senesi, like that. Sorry, don't mean to butcher names. Yeah, who do they have? Is it... Oh, I can't remember who they've got in game week 18 now. In game week 18, they've got Forest away. Not a perfect fixture, but not bad for a defensive fixture anyway. Yeah, I don't mind a punt on a Bournemouth defender then. Could go for it. Double Arsenal defence or start Livramento. Love your work. Thank you very much. I would probably favour Livramento because I think Aston Villa will score. Although I don't think they'll be I don't think they're going to go out and put like 3 or 4 past Arsenal, but I think they probably will score. Hey Ross, how are you? Bowen or Kudus? I'm good, thank you, Liam. I would opt for Bowen. Martinelli and Gibbs White out for Luis Diaz and Own. Who's Own? Or are there better options? Have Palmer, Salah, and Son. Martinelli and Gibbs were out for Luis Diaz and Own. I don't know who Own is. These are the things where I'm like a bit unsure. Or are there better options? Have Palmer, Salah, and Son. I think I would probably just keep... I'd probably keep Martinelli. Luis Diaz. I don't know. I'll go Luis Diaz now. The fixtures are starting to turn for Liverpool. I think Sterling, Foden, Bowen. Bowen would probably be my top choice there, Toto Football. Assuming Son is not playing, for a non-Haaland team, should I do Alvarez, Son, and Burmo to Baptiste, Palmer, and Haaland? Haaland might score big. If we got confirmation in the next 15 minutes that Son wasn't featuring, then I would probably take out Son and bring in Haaland, yes. But I don't think we're going to get that confirmation in the next 15 minutes. Oh, Bowen. Okay, Toto Football. In that case, yes, Bowen would be my first choice. I would opt for Bowen. And outside of that, Sterling, Foden, I think are fine. I'm not sure about Luis Diaz myself. Although it looks like he probably will start this week. Areola to Sanchez or Dubravka for a -4. I don't mind either of those. I think they're both fine. By the way, you do have just over 15 minutes until the deadline. Make sure you're starting to think about locking in your teams. Rate my defence. Sanchez, Virgil van Dijk, Stones, and Trippier. It's different for sure. I don't mind it as well. Quite expensive for what you're getting from it. But if you're happy paying the money, I don't mind it. Let me just have a quick screenshot just in case I don't make any changes. The plan at the moment... I can't screenshot. Oh, well. The plan at the moment is probably to roll. However, if we get news that Darwin's out... Oh, stop saying out. Darwin's benched, then I will bring in Haaland. If we somehow get news in the next 10 minutes that Son is out, injured, I'll bring in Haaland. Outside of that, if we get news that Tsimikas is benched, then I'll probably bring in Porro. So there is still a chance that I make another transfer, but it is unlikely unless we get some team news that makes me need to move in a certain way. But I think Darwin and the Tsimikas will start for what it's worth. Buy Willian or Andreas. I'd probably lean Willian for the pens. But I'm not overly convinced by either, in my opinion. Can you answer my super chat, please? I already answered it, Yusuf. I said it's a nice defence. Very expensive, but nice. Hello, you beautiful egg. Hello. Start Archer and Burmo to Palmer for a -4. I'd do Burmo to Palmer for a -4. Although, I will just say that... Okay, apparently there's some maybe early team news. I will just say that Archer looked better under Chris Wilder. It was only one game, but he looked much better, and he actually put up some decent data for the first time this season. So maybe Chris Wilder will get something out of Archer that we've not seen yet. The COP HQ apparently is just... put a rumoured 11 out. Has he? Are you sure it's not someone pretending to be him? Oh, okay, here we go. He's just confirmed that it's the rumoured team. Which is the team that someone super chatted to me as well. In all honesty, this probably will be the team. This is what we would predict, but we don't know if Alisson starts. We would want confirmation on Tsimikas. I do think that would be the front three, and it will probably be roughly that midfield as well. So, there we go. But nothing confirmed yet. I don't think we probably will get anything confirmed, in all honesty, but if we go off the basis of that team, then I will have essentially 4 players in the early kickoff. Tsimikas, Salah twice, and Darwin. That is going to be a terrible start to the weekend, or a great one. You never know. You just never know. Do you know what the worst thing is if Salah blanks? Going to be people like, don't back the early kickoff, which means nothing, but then it will just drive home people's biases around the early kickoff. I messaged you about the wheel. How do we lock in? We will discuss soon, FPL Logan Roy. Don't worry. What did you message me on? Was it Twitter? Or Instagram? Or Discord? Or what? Let me know where you messaged me and we'll chat. We'll get chatting. Bench 1. Gordon, Palmer, Alvarez, Watkins. I would bench... This is the one that I keep going back and forth on. I definitely wouldn't bench Alvarez. So Gordon, Palmer, Watkins. How would I rate them in terms of who you should bench? Watkins is so great at home that I would want to play him. Palmer is on penalties, and Gordon isn't good away from home. So I still think I maintain the order would be roughly Palmer, Watkins, Gordon, but all three are great. So for you, Tom, in order of who you should start, Alvarez, Palmer, Watkins, Gordon. Chris, free transfer Baldock to Colwill and bench Lascelles or roll. If it's for free, I don't mind it, but I would be tempted to just start Lascelles and roll and then deal with it next week. Because it might be worth just getting one extra week of does Colwill start again, does he look good, and stuff like that. So yeah, I would maybe roll the transfer. Is Diaby to Bowen for a -4 worth the hit? Yes, probably, because I don't think Diaby will start. But it depends, again, if you weren't to play Diaby and you weren't to take the hit, who are you starting instead? Because I think that is incredibly important with these questions is it's not Diaby versus Bowen. It's who you would probably start instead of Diaby versus Bowen. Zaryab says, Saliba to Porro/Colwill for a -4 sets me up for Game Week 18. I'm sure it does, but do you need to make the move this week for a -4? Can you not do that for free in 17 or 18? What is the benefit of doing Saliba to Porro or Colwill this week? Porro and Colwill don't have better fixtures than Saliba. And for a hit as well. I wonder if you can just delay that transfer. Mbeumo and Zinchenko to Foden and a 4.4 defender for a -4. Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Could look at big man Harry Maguire, Livramento. I think both of those are fine. I think that's a nice set of transfers. Bestfoot says, Mbeumo for Hwang, already have Palmer. Yep, love Hwang. Think he'll do very, very well again today. I would expect. Mbeumo and Son to Bowen and Sterling for a -4. I don't hate that, Jack, but if Son plays, then you're going to want him in your team. Not just for this week, but then the next 3 fixtures after the Newcastle game are great for Spurs. And then I think he's got Bournemouth in game week 20. I would want Son, so I'm going to say no. If you can afford Mbeumo to Bowen for free, I would do that. But of course, if you've got a suspicion that Son misses out altogether, then you could go for it. You've got just over 10 minutes until the deadline. We haven't had any definitive team news around Liverpool. There is a rumoured 11 going around, which is Tsimikas starts, Darwin starts, Diaz starts. Of course, Mohamed Salah starts as well. And Quansah, I think we're going to go for is how we're going to pronounce his name, also starts. I think based on the amount of minutes that Gakpo's played recently and based on sort of the pattern that we're seeing, I think it should be a Diaz, Darwin, Salah front three. It could be that Gakpo's favoured in midfield, but I think it's more likely he just comes off the bench for either Darwin or Diaz. And my prediction is probably for Diaz. And I think we'll probably see a front three of Darwin, Gakpo, Salah to finish the game. Farid says, hi Ross, 2 free transfers and 2.8 million in the bank. I have Livramento, Trippier, Tsimikas, Gahey, Taylor. Should I do Mbeumo to Gordon or Turner to Dubravka and bench Mbeumo? I would do both. I would do the Mbeumo to Gordon and the Turner to Dubravka move. Yeah, I would make, because you've got 2 free transfers, I would do both of them. Start Saka or Gordon? It's a great question. I would start Saka. Polkit says, hey Ross, help choose one. Turner, Lamptey to Dubravka, Porro/Colwill -4. Just the goalkeeper transfer and play Taylor. Colwill saves money for Watkins in 18. If Colwill allows you to get Watkins in 18 and Porro doesn't, I would do Lamptey to Dubravka and... Yeah, sorry, I would do Turner to Dubravka and Lamptey to Colwill for the -4. Yeah, I would do that if that's the only way that you can get Watkins, because I think you're going to want Watkins in Game Week 18. I think Watkins is arguably the best captaincy option. It'll be between Watkins and Son for captaincy, I think, for most people. By the way, if you are enjoying today's stream and you're not yet subscribed to the channel, there are at least 4 or 5 pieces of weekly content and a deadline stream every week. So if you're not yet subscribed, maybe you've watched a few of my streams before, please do consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. What are your thoughts on Man United versus Bournemouth? First Old Trafford today. First time at Old Trafford. Interesting FPL sponge. I would say I'm going to go 2-1 Bournemouth. Sadly. I think that performance against Chelsea was great, but I have seen on too many occasions now one good performance followed up by an absolute stinker. So I think we might struggle a little bit in this game. Is my prediction. Rashid says -4 for Dubravka and hit the bench boost with Dubravka, Palmer, Gakey and Taylor to cover for the hit. No, that's a terrible bench boost, sorry. Gakey and Taylor are not good bench boost option. Dubravka's not even a good bench boost option. No, I'm not convinced by that. There's no point playing the bench boost to cover the fact that you don't have Haaland and you're taking a hit. Not for me. Harrison says Son and Darwin to Haaland and Garnacho for a -8. Son and Darwin out for a -8. Not for me. Not for me. Not unless we get confirmation that Son is out or unless we get confirmation that Darwin is benched in the next 5 minutes, which I don't think will be the case. I think Son will start and I think Darwin will start. So, not for me. That's not on a -8 I would do. Best Foot says, would you do Areola/Turner to Dubravka or roll? I would do it. Tarkowski to Trippier for a -4 or wait for next week. I would wait for next week probably. Just see him as well. It could be that Kieran Trippier picks up the yellow card and then you wouldn't want him next week anyway. Who would you bench? Solanke, Isak, Adingra or Palmer? It would be, I would start Isak and Palmer. It's between Solanke and Adingra. I would probably just about favour benching Solanke. But if Adingra doesn't start, then you'll regret not benching him. So if you think Adingra will start, bench Solanke. If you think Adingra will be on the bench, I would bench Adingra. Do you have any early team news? We don't have anything definitive. There's a rumoured 11 going around with Tsimikas, Darwin, Salah, Diaz, all of the above all starting. But I haven't seen anything definitive, sadly. You've got just over 5 minutes until the deadline. Try and answer as many of your questions as possible, but also prioritise getting your team sorted. Father with the team. Hi, Ross. Okay, 37 points last game week. Now my team is Dubravka, Porro, Gabriel Taylor, Saka, Salah, Gordon, Erdegaard, Diaby, Haaland, Darwin. What do you think? I love it apart from Diaby. I would ideally take Diaby out of your team if you've got a free transfer to use. But otherwise, really nice. Move with Mike says, who scores more, Haaland, Gordon, or Watkins, Darwin? This week, probably anything that has Haaland in. But like longer term, I don't know. I like the Watkins and Darwin combo, and I don't like the idea of removing Watkins before blank game week 18. I don't know. This week, I do think Haaland will do well, but I think keeping Watkins is probably the play. Start Areola or take out Kelleher for a -4 for Dubravka. I would probably... The rumours are that Alisson's fit and going to start, so I would probably move for Dubravka. Play Pedro or Adingra to sell... Sorry, play Pedro or Adingra or sell to Gordon. I'd play Pedro. I think João Pedro's got to start this one, and he's on pens as well. FPL the Mac wants to know who to captain. Haaland. Your team looks nice as well, by the way, but Haaland captain. If you've got Haaland, you captain Haaland. If you don't have Haaland, you captain Salah. That's pretty much the way it's been for the season, in all honesty. But especially since Haaland started to find a bit of form again. I know he blanked against Villa, but he had a big chance. And that's what you want, really. You want your player to continue getting chances. That's how you decided they're still worth captaining. Ollie says, same team as you, except Saliba instead of James and Gordon on the bench. Do you try to put him in the team and how? I would probably leave it as is. Yeah, I would probably leave it as is, mate. There is justification to start him instead of Watkins or to start him instead of Palmer, especially given how good Everton have been recently. But I still feel like I still feel like I would want to start the other two. If Palmer wasn't on penalties, I would bench Palmer. And I know he might not get a pen. In fact, there's more of a chance that he doesn't than he does. But if he does get a pen, you'll be like, why did I bench a penalty taker? It's always the way. There's nothing worse than the player that you've got on your bench stepping up and slotting home a penalty for a 10-pointer. It sucks. Colwell or Saliba? I think right now I'd be more tempted to go with Colwell. If you're asking who should start out of Colwell and Saliba, I'd probably lean Saliba, actually. But if longer term, I think as an option, I prefer Colwell. Nap time. I'd love some nap right now. Son / Pedro to Haaland / Baptiste, or Son / Darwin to Haaland / Wang. Or none of the above. Want to keep Son, but feel like I need Haaland by now. I would prefer Son and Pedro to Haaland and Baptiste. Wait, that doesn't even... Yeah. No, that doesn't make sense, does it? No, it does. Okay. Yeah, I would prefer to sell... I wouldn't be wanting to sell Darwin this week. And if you do desperately want to do it... Like, I agree with you. I'm not that keen on selling Son, but if you do want to do it, I would go for the Haaland and Baptiste option. If Areola was fit, who would you start?
I don't know, because Fulham have been scoring so many goals lately.
Yeah, Mrs. Raptor doesn't know whether to start Dubravka or Areola.
I kind of want to start Dubravka, you know.
Start Dubravka then. I think we'll probably both get Dubravka, but
Yeah, it's just Fulham in the past 3 games have scored like 4 or 5 goals.
yeah.
Areola's not very good.
Start Darwin or Garnacho? Darwin. Start Solanke over Gordon. I would start Gordon. You've got 2 minutes until the deadline, by the way. Less than 2 minutes. Get those teams locked in. By all means, keep asking questions, but I wouldn't. I'm the same as the missus. AI. She's not AI. Can you sound less AI in the future, please? I'm only kidding. Right. So I think I'm going to roll the transfer then. Bit boring, I know. I just don't think Porro massively improves my team this week. I don't think removing Martinelli massively improves my team this week. And I don't want to sell the players that I'd have to sell to bring in Haaland. So for that reason, I think I'm going to roll. Does give me 2 free transfers next week, which is nice, though. Gives me a little bit more flexibility. I've got an entire week until the deadline. Yeah, this same team is just doing the rounds. So I'm gonna assume that probably is the team. So Darwin and Tsimikas would start if that is the team, which is great. Isn't it worth taking out Son for Haaland with him having Luton away? Potentially, but I would also have to then sell one of my forwards, and I don't want to sell Alvarez because he has the same fixture. I don't want to sell Watkins because I want him longer term, and Darwin's got a great fixture this week, and I'd expect him to start. So it's not just about selling Son, it's also about selling one of the attackers that I don't want to sell. And I think all 3 of my attackers this week could do very well. The one I'm least confident about is Watkins, but he's at home, and also, like I said, I definitely want him probably as captain in Game Week 18. Right, that is it. Deadline has passed. Apologies. We're done. Oh, what a manic week that was. Did you hear my sternum crack? Jesus, that wasn't very nice. Locked in. Locked and loaded. Do make sure that you stick around. We're going to carry on streaming for at least another half an hour. However, if you are going to leave me, make sure you subscribe on the way out. Make sure you drop a like on the way out as well. God, it was a bit boring, my moves, but hey-ho. Let me just, I'll just quickly screenshot my team. I'm going to have to screenshot it on my computer today because I'm logged out on the web thing and I can't be bothered to log back in. So, oh, Mrs. Raps has just sent me her team. I will show you in 2 seconds. Right, and then if I switch to Twitter, there you go, you can see me tweeting. Oh God, why did I bring in Sterling? Good luck. I will never leave you, Ross. You're so sweet. I will never leave you either. GameWeek16 team. I want a lock symbol. Nice. And then, what was my move? It was Mbermo to Palmer. Mbermo to Palmer. I thought you can't have two accounts. Mrs. Raptor doesn't exist. Mrs. Raptor went to the FPL meetup. Everyone met Mrs. Well, not everyone. 60 people met Mrs. Raptor. So Mrs. Raptor does exist. Say hello. Listen out. Mrs. Raptor's going to say hello. Don't do that to me. Say hello. This looks really embarrassing now.
Hello.
That was so quiet. Say hello. Right. She's actually just done me so dirty there. And she's giggling because she knows. Can you actually say hello to everyone, please? You're being rude. Don't be rude. Chat one. That's so quiet. They're not going to hear that.
What do you mean?
Say hello.
Hello.
Oh, God. You know what? You probably can't hear that because she's mumbling.
They can hear me.
They can't hear you.
That's so rude.
You're the rude one. I'm not rude. Everyone's saying you're Alexa or Siri. No, it's not my Alexa. Look, if I say Alexa, say hello.
Hello.
Oh my God, you do sound like her.
No, I don't.
That was my other gal. I'll probably just set off all of your ones. I'll turn my Alexa. Say hello.
Hi.
Oh, God, that was deep.
Hi.
It's Mubama. It is. Sorry, my ADHD kicked in. What was I doing to it in my team? Rolling the second free transfer. 2 free transfers and 2.1 million in the bank for next week. The early kickoff should be fun. There we go. Post.
My defense is so bad.
Defense is so bad.
Yeah.
Who's your defense? Oh, I'll look at your team in a second.
It's so painful, but it is what it is.
It is what it
The
is.
rest of the team is good though. I think.
Wow, Andy took a -4. Turner, Gahey, and Burmo to Dubravka, Porro, Gordon. Fair play. Fair play. There's me rolling the transfer like a boring old fart. All right, Mrs. Raptor's team. Here we go. I have to switch to Someone said say hello twice if you're being held hostage. How rude. It was Calvin actually that said that. Oh no, you're not going to be able to see it. Let me switch to Zoom because the green the green screen removes the background. Let me. My fingernails looked yellow then. I had curry last night. I think they were just. I'm not a dirty man. Don't worry. What you laughing for? What you laughing for? There you go. That's Mrs. Raptor's team.
Isn't it awful?
No, it's just comfortably better than mine every week. It's frustrating. Oh, you brought in Pedro Porro.
I did. I just didn't know what else to do. I needed to make a move though. For this week, it's really bad, but.
There we go, chat. You can see the team. She's a Villa fan and has triple Arsenal. Facts. Fake Villa fan, clearly.
It's quite upsetting actually because I know I'm going to get no defensive points.
Yeah. She sold Burn. Finally, I know Frosty. She's only had Burn for about 10 game weeks.
I was actually going to sell Gabe and I was like, I might as well just get rid of Burn. I have the money.
Yeah, Burn needed to go, didn't he?
He did. He did.
What position is she in the league? She's first. Well, in my league, I don't know my league, but in our league, you won't be able to check because the game's updating.
Oh.
She's beating me. She's like, what are you like, 150k?
Yeah, 147k.
147k she is. Does Mrs. Raptor mind about you having OnlyFans? No, she holds the camera.
In your league, because it hasn't updated, I'm 2,407th.
In my league, she's 2,407th. I think I'm about 25th, 25,000th. It looks more like Andy's team than yours.
Does it?
You cheating on me with other content creators watching their content.
What's his team? Is it on Twitter yet?
What's his team? Pretending. You better not have been watching Andy's stream. Whilst chat, it's all coming out now. Imagine she's just been laying there in bed watching Andy's stream rather than watching me.
Oh, it is fairly similar, to be fair.
Do I have to get into Andy's DMs and be like, my girl's watching your content, can you block her?
I'm a bit worried that loads of people have started Areola, but I'm not convinced he'll get anything. Or if he even starts.
Bloody hell. FPL love triangle, none of that. I'm going to have to call out Andy. It's going to be like an FPL boxing match. If she super chatted Andy, would you leave? Yeah, I would. I wouldn't blame her for watching Andy. What is all of this?
I only watch you.
Correct answer, thank you. Let's talk FPL. He does have that Riz, doesn't he?
I've met Andy.
She has. Yes, Mrs. Raptor has met Andy anyway. We were both at the Sidemen charity game. And Andy just came. I didn't even know Andy was going to be there, but Andy was at the Sidemen charity game as well with his son. So, yeah, she has met Andy. Maybe that was when she started watching his content. Nothing beats the egg Riz, to be fair. Listen, chat, you know, don't you? You do know. Andy's a total stud muffin. Facts. You have the same birthday date as my late grandpa. Oh, very sweet. 29th of March. Get Mrs. Raptor on camera. No, she just goes, no. When's Mrs. Raptor starting her own podcast? She's clearly the expert. I keep telling her to. Should be good.
Double Arsenal defence very brave, as if I've really had a choice in this matter this week. It's very, very depressing. Anyway.
Raptor, how tall are you? About 5'10". You have the same hair as my late grandfather. That's a good one. I like that. I like that a lot. Is Mrs. Raptor also bald? Yep. Like a bald eagle. Oh, God. What is that in meters? 1.77, I think I'm, or 1.78. I think I've measured myself twice, and I lost a centimeter at one point, which is massive, a centimeter. Huge. I've gone from like about 177, 178. Which I think is 5'10". Maybe I'm lying. Maybe that's more like 5'9". Look at the chat stirring. Your girlfriend sounded very intrigued when you talked about Andy taking a -4. Quite suspicious.
It's just he's normally quite conservative.
How are Stormzy and Chunks doing, Ross? Chunks is top of the league. I'm in second. But this was Chunks' team before the transfers. I don't know what transfers he made, but this was before the transfers. Look at all those flags. He had 5 flags in his team. But yeah, Chunks is top. I think Stormzy's in 4th. Then I'm in 2nd. Sharky's in 3rd. And then Harry Pinero's in 5th. Yeah. She loves the danger of a man who takes a -4. Is it because I rolled the transfer? Is this what's going on? Do I need to take more hits? I haven't taken a single hit this season. I just realised I'm on the wrong thing completely. I didn't.
I haven't except for game week 2 or whatever.
You what?
I haven't except for game week 2 or whatever it was.
Yeah, don't make me tell the chat about that.
Well, I'm still way ahead of you. So.
Shall I tell the chat? Shall I? So, By the way, she's not a rookie, but this was the funniest rookie mistake. So in game week, in game week, before game week 1, you can make as many transfers as you want on the official site, right? Because you can just tinker. There's unlimited transfers. You don't lose money due to price changes, price falls, price rises, anything, right? So you can just tinker away. So she'd been tinkering so much in pre-season that midway through game week 1 happening, she wanted to work out if she had the money to make 3 moves. Is it 3 moves? 4 moves. 3 moves. She wanted to make sure she had the money for 3 moves. So she made the transfers on the actual site and just took a -8. And then realized after she made the 3 that she couldn't still tinker because we were actually in the season. The worst thing about it is that the -8 paid off. She brought in Maddison, who went on an insane run. And he got loads of points. The players that she took out, one got injured. One went on a spree of blank. I can't remember who it was. Blank like 4 or 5 games in a row. So that she took a -8 by accident. It paid off, and she's still like 30 points ahead of me.
Lucky.
Was here for the deadline stream whilst driving home. Now just here smiling for no reason. We do smile for no reason. No, not no reason. Life's good. Oh my god, my triceps are hurting. How tall is Andy? I reckon like 6'2". This is sounding more suspicious by the minute. She needs a... Do you know what? Stop it. Allison starts. Yeah, I think that was what the room was going around. Oh my god, my chest and triceps and shoulders, Doms. Chat, I'm bulking. Do I look bigger? I've put on like 7 kilos. I'm the heaviest I've ever been in my life. It's great. Yeah, I don't know how tall Andy is, but I would guess about 6'2". Yeah, he's a big man. Stop trying to show off in front of her. I don't know. She's my girlfriend. I don't have to show off in front of her. Raptor, what's your bench PB? It's still 95. At the moment, I'm only benching 80 because I bench alone, so I don't have anyone to spot me. And also, I just don't feel the necessity to go for 1 rep maxes. I'd rather go for a minimum of 5 reps. So I don't really bench anything heavier than that. I could probably bench about 87.5 now, maybe pushing 90. But it would be a dodgy rep, probably. I'm not 5'5". Chat, you're so mean to me sometimes. Aero Man Allen has become a Raptid 2 member. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. What's your girlfriend's first name? Mrs. Surname Raptor. I've been stuck at 100 for like a year, honestly. That's still amazing. Anyone that can bench press 225 pounds or 100 kilos is big. Are you standing or sitting? I'm sitting. Are you bulking to get a bigger ass? Yeah. On that chunky monkey. The big peach, the planets. Facts. She said, I've already got that. Big old bunda. Exactly. Were you 1 inch taller when you had hair? Why do you laugh when people say things like this? She's just cracking up over there, thinking it's hilarious. Will you shave your beard in 2024? No, I haven't shaved my beard since like 2017. You don't want to see that.
I'd be quite scared.
Be full-blown egg at that stage.
I'm so curious, but also I just...
No, I don't. I'm not shaving the beard. Don't worry. Went man and Captain Son, although I have Haaland and Salah. Captain Son is wild, but I respect it. Good luck. FPL Phoenix says, how many players does Mrs. Raptor have that Andy doesn't? Don't know, like 1, 2?
2, I think.
2. Are you consistent with your diet at the moment, Ross? So my diet at the moment is to eat absolutely everything that I possibly can in sight. And I am being quite consistent with that, yeah. Because usually I've not got a massive appetite and I could get away with not eating a lot. So when I bulk, I find it difficult because I can't eat the amount required to put on weight. But I've committed in the last few weeks to like really eating big. And someone said bulking tips. Just eat so much more than you think. Unless you are someone that puts on weight easily. If you're struggling, if you are eating this much and you think that is your upper limit, you need to eat this much. That's always been my issue. How did the meetup go? I didn't get a chance to make it. The meetup went well. Yeah, it was really good. We had about 60 people turned up in total, and about 15, 20 people were there even right at the end. So yeah, it was a really good night. Max said, I went to the FPL meetup. Raptor was just chatting to himself in the corner and no girls were present. Stop spreading lies. Why are you laughing? It's not true. How heavy are you right now? I'm 81 kilos, which is the heaviest I've ever been. I know that doesn't sound overly heavy, but the heaviest I've been before this was like 78. I've never been in the 80 kilos. It's my first ever time. Yeah, Mrs. Raptor was at the FPL meetup, so she met some of you. I don't know if anyone's watching that was up at the meetup, but if they were, then they would have met Mrs. Raptor. Oh, Adam's here. There we go. Adam's the one that owns the place. So Adam definitely met Mrs. Raptor. Adam, I had... What burger did I have? Oh, you weren't there. I had... Oh my God, Adam, it was so good. It was like a beef one, but the beef just like fell apart. It was so tender. It was like a... Oh my God, that burger was so... I've just realised how good that burger was. It was... I don't know, it was just a really basic one. It had like beef, pickles, cheese, and I put some ketchup in it. Whatever like the basic beef one is, Adam. It had like two stacked beef patties and like the beef was just falling apart. There you go. Adam said he can confirm there is indeed a Mrs. Raptor. Proof from Adam. Pickles. Everyone loves pickles. Everyone loves pickles. Yeah, they're smash burgers. Oh, they were so good. They were so good, Adam. Honestly, next time I come back, which I will very soon, I'll get that burger again. FPL Pickle just does the sunglasses face because we said we love pickles. We love FPL Pickle as well. Why not? I'm craving burgers now. Oh, me too. Me too. I've bought, for Mrs. Raptor and I bought some seeded bagels and I bought some avocados and eggs. And we'll have some eggs and avocado on bagels. And I'll probably season the avocado, just a bit of salt and pepper. And we don't have any pepper.
No.
And that's a disaster. And then the eggs, bit of paprika, bit of salt. Beautiful. I'm really hungry now.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. I don't know if the avocados are very nice. They're always hit and miss. Do you find that, chat? Avocados, you can buy them, and they'll go from rock hard to sus. Oh, the camera's gone. They'll go from rock hard to like black immediately. Like there's no in between. There's probably like a period of like an hour where an avocado is perfectly ripe. Ross, who cooks, you or Mrs. Raptor? We can both cook, but I probably cook the majority of the time because usually she spends time where I live. And it would be weird if she just walks in and started cooking all the time.
Oh,
So,
sorry.
What?
I was going to say, I would actually like to cook more meals.
Yeah. Mrs. Raptor's a great chef, honestly. Really good. But because it's my place, it would be weird if she cooked all the time, I think. Also, I like cooking for her. There's nothing better than cooking for your woman. Or your man, whoever you're dating. Oh. That's not going to work straight away, is it? No. Oh, God, that was an ugly little freeze frame. We ignore that, chat. Pretend that didn't happen. Oh, no, I've now knocked my camera. When my camera comes back on, it's going to be pointing at the wrong angle.
Should I cook tomorrow night?
What do you want to cook tomorrow night?
I know, I think. I could cook something.
I'd be down for you to cook tomorrow night. Put mustard on avocado. I'll be entirely honest, Victor. Mustard may well be the grossest thing on the planet. Oh, it's just so... I feel like I need to do that when I eat it. Don't lie, Ross. You can't even make toast. I'm a great little chef. I'll have you know. Oh, I didn't realise that everyone loves mustard that much. I would love to just comment on the fact that you are all wrong. Oh, you don't like mustard either? Fantastic. I just got battered in the chat. No way. Nah, mate. Nah, that's too far. Terrible take. Was the...
No, mustard's disgusting.
Worst take you've ever had. Okay. Mustard is vile. Thank you. Someone said it. Also, did you say you're having eggs? Isn't that cannibalism? No, don't encourage Frosty. Right, we're running a poll.
You don't like mayo either, do you? Because someone was like, you definitely like mayo.
I'm not a massive fan of mayo, no.
I despise mayo. And
the only thing we...
Come at me all you want.
That sounds sus. The only thing that we really like is tuna mayo.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Other than tuna mayo, we don't like mayo either.
Mayo is the worst. I'm really sorry, guys. But
Right, we're gonna run a mayo poll, but we're gonna run a mustard poll first. Do you like mustard? Yes or no? If my mum's watching, I think my mum likes mustard. I don't know if Nana Raptor likes mustard. I feel like Nana Raptor. Nana Raptor, if you're watching, do you like mustard? Sriracha mayo is fire. I've also got a firecracker mayo from Wagamama's that I bought from like Sainsbury's. God, that sounds like the most middle class sentence I've ever heard. But
I was gonna say something really like that sounds really middle class, but I promise I'm not. The only mustard I can maybe tolerate is honey mustard with roast beef.
Honey mustard with roast beef. Mrs. Raptor said the only mustard she can have is a honey mustard with roast beef. Yeah, that sounds incredible. That sounds upper class. That you've skipped middle class altogether there. Honey mustard with roast beef. Surprised it ain't Waitrose. If I had a Waitrose near me, I would. No, I'm joking. I like Sainsbury's.
I've actually never shopped in a Waitrose in my life. Nice facts, by the way. I'd love to go to one. But no,
It's very expensive. No, she's not posh, really. She's from Birmingham.
yeah.
I love mayo with Ruffles, sour cream, and onion crisps. I'm not going to lie, it sounds awful, but... Am I witnessing a Tory Brummy? No, you're not. Don't worry. No, she just apparently likes Tory mustard. That's it.
No, I don't like it. It's the only thing I would maybe eat.
What sauce do you even put on your Subway then? Probably sweet chili.
I put chili sauce.
Sweet chili or chili sauce. Sometimes I will be partial to barbecue, but not all the time. Okay, so 57% of you like mustard and 43% don't.
I think I'm just honestly not a condiment fan. I don't even like ketchup very much, really. The only thing I like is chili sauce. And not sweet chili sauce, chili sauce.
She doesn't like ketchup, chat.
It's okay, but it's all right.
If you just let me know, if you don't like ketchup, let me know, and I'm just going to remove you from the channel. Ketchup's the goat. Ketchup is the goat. So, ketchup's trash, okay? Ick behaviour. What, from me or from her? Everyone that doesn't like ketchup can sack her off. Ban her now. Chat, no.
That's an ick, and I thought we were talking about how girls are annoying having icks, and there's all these men coming at me. So,
they might not be men. Thoughts on me taking a punt on Leon Bailey? Love it. Leon Bailey's got great data. You're all so fussy. Ketchup is rubbish.
It's okay, but I don't need it with things.
Frosty says, I'm literally putting ketchup on some bread to make a chip butty as we speak. Clive says, can't stand ketchup. Whoa! Time for a poll. I thought everyone loved ketchup. Do you like ketchup? We should do like a condiment World Cup, shouldn't we?
To be fair, more people dislike ketchup than I thought.
That's what I'm saying. I'm shocked. We get the Liverpool lineup in 4 minutes, by the way. It's probably already leaked on Twitter, but we'll get the official one in 4 minutes.
People are taking the cat.
What did they say?
It's because I said I don't need ketchup. I can just eat fries without feet,
Wait, what did you say?
I was just saying how like ketchup's alright. I don't need it. You know, some people are like, I can't eat fries without ketchup.
Yeah.
No, that's you.
You love fries. I've never seen... Shall I tell them about the story in Amsterdam? Right, so backstory context. I do love fries, but Mrs. Raptor is obsessed with fries. I mean, like when I say obsessed, I mean obsessed. Just loves them. And we were walking through Amsterdam. We both had a large McDonald's chips because we just wanted a snack before we went out for a nice dinner. So we just had some chips. She demolished hers like this. Like she just eats like so quickly. And I eat quite slowly. So she finished hers. And then she just looked at me and I was halfway through my fries. And she just took them out of my hands and went, "You're not enjoying them enough." And started eating them. Because to her eye, I wasn't making the most of these fries.
I was in a bad place, okay?
So she stole them and just said I wasn't enjoying them enough and that she would enjoy them more and she would make the most of them. So she just took my fries.
I sound like a psycho.
You did that or did that not happen? This is the thing. To be fair, she does love them. She's a keeper. Someone was hungry. She was a hungry gal. She wouldn't steal Andy's fries. No denying it. That's criminal behaviour, straight to jail. She was right. No, they're backing you up. Greg sausage rolls. They slap. They do slap. She's the dominant one. Curry with chips. Oh my god, yeah. Curry sauce on chips.
Oh, curry sauce slaps.
Do you know what? Curry sauce.
I can...
Okay, I have faith back in humanity. 76% of you like ketchup. That's good. Lukey Boy says, ketchup is just something a person from Essex would eat. Rude.
Oh, no,
But facts. Oh, Nana Raptor's in the chat. She said, yes, my darling, I love mustard.
No.
In that case, we all love mustard. If Nana Raptor loves mustard, then we all love mustard. Ooh. Cheesy chips. Cheesy chip slap. Fish and chips curry sauce, by the way. Oh, yeah. Like, fish and chips with curry sauce poured over everything. Just loads of it. Oh, my God. I'm so hungry.
It's so funny because you know what people are saying about munchies?
Yeah.
I honestly wasn't.
Yeah, I know. How old's your nan? I believe Nana Raptor was born in 1939. So I think she's 84. I think. Yeah, I'm going to go 84, Nana Raptor. Well, no, that would make her 84 in December. Yeah, I think she's just about to turn 84. Am I right, Nana Raptor? Everyone's just saying, Nana Raptor, we love you. We do love Nana Raptor, don't we? Right, let's move over to Twitter. Liverpool? Liverpool? Oh. What you laughing for? I'm serious. Right, we're going to wait. Oh, whoa. What on earth have I just clicked? There you go. Never ask a woman her age. Ah, it's fine with Nana Raptor. Absolute legend. Yeah, I just saw that. From an Asian, if your prawn crackers aren't good enough on its own, it's not good prawn crackers. I respect that, Calvin, and I do appreciate that perspective. Yeah, if you have to douse them in sauce, then...
To be fair, I don't tend to dip them. I like them just on. What sauce do you dip with?
Prawn crackers. There's like this like really thin, like almost like watery sweet chili sauce that they give you sometimes.
Oh, right.
Slaps really hard. But you can also use like a plum sauce or... Yes. It was the team that was going around. So Allison's back in. Simicast starts. Darwin starts. Salah starts. We are loving life. We are absolutely loving life. Right. Is that on the screen, by the way? I've not even... Yeah, okay. We're fine. Cool. Strong team. Not a fan of the Minecraft kit, but... Nando sauce rules. Mrs. Raptor loves Nando sauce. I've never known another human being.
Nando's.
Yeah, only the hot one though. She won't eat the medium one.
Well, I will, but it's all I prefer hot.
You always turn it down. You're like, no, it's not hot.
Depends. If I'm desperate for some sauce, then I'll go for it.
Yeah, also good for Simicast clean sheets because obviously Alison's back in. Nando sauce gives me the runs. Me too. Yeah, facts. What doesn't though? What doesn't? All the love from Syria. Big up. Wasabi mayo is better than ketchup. I don't really like wasabi. You should collab with Mark Goldbridge. I don't think we've got the same vibe, to be honest. Although a live stream might be funny. Condiments in fridge or cupboard, Ross? Anyone that doesn't put it in the fridge is just eating off sauce. Like every condiment says, once opened, put in the fridge, use within 2 months or something. Follow the instructions. Get Mrs. Raptor on screen. She's so chatty. You so chatty. Why are your feet dancing? Like, why are you doing excited feet?
I did that the first time in like hours and noticed it. Anyway, maybe one day.
She said maybe one day. She's literally, by the way, so my desk is here. And then my bed is here, like right next to my desk. So she's only just, I can't quite reach her, but she's just there, right there. No, wait, it looks like I'm pointing at, who is that? Is that Kwanzaa? I'm not dating Kwanzaa. Oh, I have depression and your streams make me good for a second. Love you. I love you too. And it'll be okay. Don't worry. If you want to chat, by the way, drop me a message on some sort of platform. You'll be fine though. You got this. I believe in you. You should do a hair and makeup stream with Craig from Anfield Agenda and Don Robbie. A hair and makeup stream. Bit rude.
I'd love to see you in a wig.
You'd love to see me in a wig?
Yeah.
Oh, look at the lats, like a bat. Throw something at her. We did this the other day. Not the other day, a few streams ago. She threw a toilet roll at my head to show that she's there. Can she show her hand so we know she's real? She refuses to show her hand, sadly. Your girlfriend sounds like Mr. Beast's girlfriend. Is she from Birmingham?
I know.
I've not even heard Mr. Beast's girlfriend speak. You dating Mr. Beast? Get a mullet wig for a stream. I should, shouldn't I? She hasn't got hands. No, she does have hands.
No, I don't.
Do you not?
That's a real reason why I can never wait.
Pick your stub. How did you meet? She was watching one of my... I've spoken about this before, so I'm not going to repeat it, but she was watching one of my streams. I slid in her DMs. Bish, bash, bosh. She has hairy Yeti hands. These are the rumours now, if you don't show your hand. Is FPL updated? No, it's normally 45 minutes to an hour, Calvin. I wouldn't imagine it's updated yet. I can check. Nah, still updating. Yeah, Simicast and Darwin starting is great news, for sure. You're dating a fan. Basically, yeah. Basically. If you had hair, what hairstyle would you rock, Ross?
That's an interesting question.
Probably like braids. What are you laughing for? Cornrows.
I'm so upset. I wanted a real answer.
Oh, real answer. I don't know. Chat, what hairstyle do you think I would have if I had hair? I think, honestly, it would be like a French crop, like a number 3 all over. So I think I would still shave it, but it would be a little bit longer. A fringe. Yeah, like a sweeping side fringe. I think I showed you my hairstyle from when I was younger, didn't I, chat? Let me see. Because that was not the look. This was my hair just before I shaved it. You can see it was receding quite a bit. Oh, the water's weird for my hair. You can see how far it was receding. Not great. This was... Oh, God. That was me. It wasn't receding. Look at that.
Oh, bless you.
Look how skinny I used to be as well. Right. And then... Where was my hair when I was like much younger? There you go. There's a bit of a side profile. I used to actually have decent hair. There's me. That was so thick. Look how thick my hair was. That's before I started playing FPL. But the hair that I wanted to show you, this was the look. There's an ear piercing as well. Oh, chat. I had my ear pierced. I had spiky hair. Look at the Essex boy. Super dry hoodie. That's full-blown Essex. Look at all that hair, though. Wild. Oh, I've got some pictures of me playing for Spurs. There we go. For all the people that think I'm lying, that's me playing for Spurs. I've got more pictures of me playing for Spurs. Here I am again. I used to be well cute. Look how cute I used to be. So yeah, there you go. I think there might be more. One sec. Was that it? Yeah, it wasn't a good look, my hair, I'm not gonna lie. I look better with my head shaved. Oh, there you go. Nana Raptor said yes, 84 on the 16th of December, which is exactly a week. Exactly a week. Can you play for Spurs instead of Richarlison? Yes, I can. Do you still have any trophies from when you was a kid? Yeah, loads, but they're at home, obviously, with my mum, not here with me right now. You're on the Mount Rushmore of baldies, along with Joe Rogan and The Rock. Thanks. Nana Raptor doesn't like Spurs. Nana Raptor hates Spurs. It's pretty funny. Yeah, she really doesn't like Spurs. Whenever I'm like, you should bring in Maddison or Son in the past, she's been like, do I have to? She actually actively like goes again. I'm like, I really think you should bring in this player. And she's like, no, they play for Spurs. Which was pretty funny when Kane was really, really good. She'd like really not want to own Kane. Me and Nana Raptor have the same birthday. My life is complete. There we go. I think the Vidal cut suits you. Thank you. I'm okay being bald. It is what it is. I think I'd look weird with hair now. At least I've got a beard. Do you shave your head? Yeah, I have to shave my head quite a lot because I have a lot of hair. Apart from I recede and I've got a bald bit. So I've got hair here and here. It's not ideal. So yeah, I have to shave my head once a week. Less than that, actually. Once every 4 or 5 days. What non-FPL podcast do you listen to? The Diary of a CEO. Deep dive with Ali Abdul, because I love Ali. I think he's great. They're the main two, really. Yeah, they're the main two. I like listening to stuff around finance. So any podcast that has Morgan Housel on, I'll listen to. He's the guy that wrote The Psychology of Money. I also listen to anything sleep related. So anything that anyone has Matthew Walker on, I'll listen to their podcast. You and your girlfriend's favourite show? We've only been dating a few months. So in that time, we watched The Good Place together, which I'd already watched, but I wanted to show her. She enjoyed that. We're currently watching Gavin and Stacey again, but we've both watched Gavin and Stacey. If you've not watched Gavin and Stacey, especially if you're from the UK, I don't know if I would enjoy it if I wasn't from the UK. Because I feel like it's just got so much British humour and culture in it. But, yeah.
We've just been watching a lot of the classics, haven't we?
Oh, we watched Friday Night Dinner and In-Betweeners as well.
Yeah.
We've been watching a lot of the sort of English comedies. So we watched Friday Night Dinner, In-Betweeners. We then did The Good Place as a bit of a break from that. And then we've gone back to Gavin and Stacey. Nana Raptor says, I support Man United. She does indeed. We're all big Man United fans. Have you and Mrs. Raptor watched the US Office? Me and my girlfriend loved it. We've both watched it independently, but we should watch that again. Yeah,
I've not watched much of it.
Oh, have you not watched it all?
No, not at all. I've watched like 5 episodes.
I've watched it back to front 6 times. It's my most watched series of all time, the US Office. The US Office is probably the best comedy series of all time for me. Is the FPL content your main source of income, or do you have another job? The answer to that is yes and yes. FPL content is my main source of income, and I have another job. So hopefully that answers that question. That isn't because I'm an absolute baller through YouTube. It's more so the fact that my other job is... So as part of my PhD, they pay me to lecture as well. And they basically pay me enough money to live. So the payment that I get for lecturing alongside my PhD is very small. So YouTube is my main source of income, but I also have another job. And I'm also doing a PhD. So I basically got like 3 jobs. It's very manic. Is Nana Raptor still in Essex? Yeah, all of my family still live in Essex. I'm the only one that has left for the time being. To be fair, I probably will never live back in Essex either. I'm just not a massive fan of the county. How about the UK office? I don't love Ricky Gervais. And I watched the US office first, and I think it's difficult to now go and watch the UK office. Is YouTube the job you enjoy most? Comfortably. I mean, I wouldn't be sat here for 3 hours on a Saturday morning, every Saturday morning, if I didn't love it. So yeah, I absolutely love YouTube. What's your other job? Lecturing, PhD, and then YouTube. I mean, the PhD isn't a job, but it requires a portion of my time, of course. Right, chat. I think we might leave it there because I'm starving, and I'm sure Mrs. Raptor is too, and I want to go make bagels, avocado, and eggs, and demolish that. And then we've got like a little Christmas party later today with some of my friends, which would be fun. So we're going to have some Christmas, probably roast dinner, do a little secret Santa thing, and hopefully my triple Liverpool start my weekend the right way. If Simicast, Darwin, and Salah blank, I am in a world of trouble not having Haaland against Luton. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching the stream as always. Make sure to subscribe if you're somehow still watching and you've not yet subscribed. And I will be back probably tomorrow for the Game Week 17 transfer plans video. So thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you soon. See you later.